Good afternoon, Sasquatch Nation and baseball fans everywhere. I am Win Andrews, the voice of the Sasquatch, coming to you live from Black Hills Energy Stadium as your hometown Spearfish Sasquatch look to face off against our friends from Dickinson, North Dakota, the Badlands Big Sticks, here in Game 2. We'll have plenty to talk about in a Game 1 victory for the Sasquatch just last night. As we are introducing starting lineups, let's get right into it. As the visiting Big Sticks have their leadoff hitter, number 3 center fielder Jake Brill. Batting second tonight, number 11, the left fielder Austin Bunn. Batting third, number 14, the designated hitter Daniel Rogers. Batting cleanup, number 10, the first baseman Derek Calvillo. Batting fifth and catching, number 4, Gunnar Hansen. Batting sixth, number 7, the right fielder Carson Lundmark. Batting seventh, number 16, the second baseman Sean D. Batting eighth, number 2, the shortstop Alex Thurston. Batting ninth, number 1, third baseman Alex Erlob. And pitching tonight is number 26, Braxton Greenberg, as the Big Sticks are led by head coach Cam Johnson. And as the Sasquatch are lining up in the infield, getting ready for the national anthem, which is starting right now, we will have the hometown lineup in just a couple minutes. As soon as the national anthem concludes, it is game day here at Spearfish, in Spearfish. And we'll be back with you in just a minute. And play ball we will, as we just had a perfect ceremonial first pitch from the host family and the actual mother of our leadoff hitter tonight, Bryson Hoyer. Excuse me. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the Sasquatch lineups. I'm Win Andrews, voice of the Sasquatch. We do apologize for coming to you pretty late in tonight's action, but that is okay. We are right on time and a few minutes away from first pitch. So without any further ado, after we just announced the visiting team's lineup, we're going to go with your Spearfish Sasquatch. Leading off, as we just mentioned, number 4, the center fielder, Bryson Hoyer. Batting second, number 12, the shortstop, Gabe Springer. Batting third, number 24, the second baseman, Ryan Bachman. Batting cleanup, number 17, the third baseman, Bailey Bordas. Batting fifth, number 11, the left fielder, Gage Crott. Batting sixth, number 3, the right fielder, Trey Vorwald. Batting seventh, number 21, the DH, David Dielman. Batting eighth, number 29, the first baseman, Keenan O'Brien. And rounding out the order tonight for your Spearfish Sasquatch, number 18, catching behind the plate, Davis Carr. Pitching for your Sasquatch tonight in his first start on the mound this summer for the Squatch, number 26, Brian Wren. As you see him warming up right now on the mound, and the Sasquatch are led by head coach Jarrett Hunt, and as he has been coaching the Sasquatch in his last few weeks of action since joining the team. So bound to be a very exciting game 2 tonight. Game 2 of 5, actually, as this is the official last series at home and the last series of the regular season all together. So the Squatch are on a major playoff push. We'll have plenty to talk to you about it throughout the game. But as for right now, we are going to focus on the first pitch of tonight's game as Jake Brill, the center fielder, is getting ready with a few warm-up swings for the Big Sticks. So we thank you so much for joining us tonight on another great day for action here at Black Hills Energy Stadium, as it is 6:35 on the dot, and we started a little early yesterday in game 1, but we are right on time here for some game 2 fun. As we have Brian getting ready, first pitch fouled off from Brill for a quick strike 1. So the Wren and Carr battery working overtime here tonight. They will hopefully be going deep into tonight's game. Brian looking to make a major impact, as this is the first time he has joined the starting rotation for Spearfish this year. And the second pitch is going to be a high pop-up right to Gabe Springer, right past the infield behind the second base bag for out number 1. So that takes care of Jake Brill, and Austin Bunn, who's in the on-deck circle, now stepping in for his first look at Brian tonight, and the first time all season. So the Sasquatch starting out tonight with their 14-10 second half record. The Big Sticks following with a 12-11 record here in the second half. Does not matter for them as much. They already have first place seeding after making a big impression in the first half of the regular season. They will already have games 2 and 3 of the divisional round back at their place. The Squatch are trying to earn their keep and find a way to squeeze themselves into the playoffs. As of right now, the Squatch are in first place for the second half division lead, and they're looking to continue that. Squatch need to take 2 of the last 4 against the Big Six. We hope that can happen, as Austin Bunn sends that one deep out towards the warning track and right off the wall. One hopped it. Bryson Hoyer out there to corral it, but not before a stand-up double for Austin Bunn to get the Big Sticks going tonight early. So the first hit of the night, that eliminates the no-hit bid for Brian Wren early on tonight, as Daniel Rogers is stepping in, the designated hitter, batting third tonight for Badlands. So while the Sasquatch 1 through 9 lineup has pretty much stayed the same outside of a few substitutions, here in game 2, the Big Sticks have elected to go a different route. They have a lot of different guys, a lot of the same guys from last night, but in plenty of different positions and spots in the order. As Brian Wren throws right down Broadway for strike 1 against Rogers. And in game 1, Daniel was pretty impressive for Badlands, 2 for 4. Batting cleanup last night, and he is going to send that one, as it is going to be lined right up the middle, and that is easily going to score Austin Bunn, and the Big Sticks within their first 3 batters already get a run up on the board, and they lead 1-0 here in the top of the first. So Daniel Rogers continues his work at the plate. A 2 for 4 night, and now already a hit in his first at-bat here in game 2. So an early 1-0 lead here, already 2 hits off of Brian Wren. Rogers stands over at first base, talking it over with Keenan O'Brien. And now Derek Calvillo, the first baseman, batting cleanup tonight. We saw Calvillo batting 7th last night, which was a bit unlike what we saw earlier this season. We usually are used to seeing Derek in this spot, either batting cleanup or batting in the 3-hole. as there's going to be a quick conversation over at the third base bag, as it seems to not have been, I guess, planted the way it needed to, and the umps talk it over. As Coach Johnson for the Big Sticks is stepping over the third base bag, making sure it stays down. You don't want that loosened. So now, after that quick break, we're getting right back into action tonight. We thank you for joining us here. It is a partly cloudy day. Had a little shower earlier on, the first rain we've seen in a while. But we will not complain. It feels a lot better. It has cooled down considerably this evening. 5 minutes past first pitch. Brian Wren facing off against Calvillo. Fires low for ball one. Derek last night 2 for 3 with an RBI to add to his resume, as he alternates many times between that catching position and first base. It'll be interesting to see how much these lineups change throughout the course of the next 3 games after tonight. So Brian Wren already facing a bit of trouble early. The Big Sticks have not wasted any time. They tend not to usually do so, as that is going to be a soft grounder over to the third baseman. Bordas fires over to second base for 1, and Bachman the throw to first for a 5-4-3 double play. Brian Wren gets out of it with ease after giving up the first run of the night. The Big Sticks strike first, but that is all they can do here in the top of the inning. We head to the bottom, as the Sticks have an early 1-0 lead, hopefully not for long. We'll be back with you. You are watching Sasquatch Baseball.
When you venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
We're all going somewhere, going higher, faster, farther, going in new directions, to new places. At Monument Health, we keep going so you can keep going. We're dedicated to advanced orthopedic care with the latest innovations, technology, expertise, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner. Learn more at monument.health/orthopedics.
We welcome you back here to beautiful Black Hills Energy Stadium, as the Sasquatch are stepping up to the plate for their first time tonight. Bryson Hoyer followed by Gabe Springer and Ryan Bachman in the 3 spot. A dangerous 1-2-3 punch to start off the Sasquatch, as they have had a similar lineup to this and a lot of games here in the second half of play. We will not complain. They have been producing just fine. No reason to change. Can't fix what's broken. Or can't fix what's not broken. I guess that's the phrase. As Bryson Hoyer sends a lift into that one right next to the scoreboard on the warning track. And that one is going to be over. Bryson Hoyer with a leadoff first pitch home run. Wasted absolutely no time. And after a struggle last night in game one, he takes his anger out on the first pitch against Braxton Greenberg. That's the way to tie this thing up and get action going early. All tied up at 1. Way to go, Bryson. So some early action already. The first pitch that the pitcher for the Big Sticks, Braxton Greenberg, throws, Bryson Hoyer takes yard. That was a very impressive one. And the second pitch of the night, Gabe Springer's going to line it into right field, right over the second baseman's head. Back-to-back hits on 2 pitches. The Squatch already evening out the hit total for both teams at 2. Wow. So a hit from Austin Bunn in the top of the first, followed by an RBI shot from Rogers in the 3-hole. Got the Big Sticks working early. The Squatch strike right back. I was too busy trying to correct one of my phrases that I was saying. That I was just behind on Bryson Hoyer, absolutely launching one into left field, similar to where Keenan O'Brien hit one last night. So the third pitch of the night. It is already a 1-1 ball game, and that one is taken for ball 1. As Gabe has a pretty good lead off of first base, Ryan Bachman takes that one inside, ball 2. The Squatch in their black jerseys, white pants, and the Big Sticks in their Game 2 all-red uniforms. As Braxton ready to fire to Bachman on a 2-0, turns 2-1. They called strike 1 there. Both teams really want to take this series no matter the cost. It has been a fun one. Game 1 had everything you could ever expect out of a playoff environment, and we haven't even reached the end of the regular season to this point. Ryan Bachman fouls that one off the edge of his bat and sends that one out of play into the Sasquatch bullpen. So it's a battle of the number 26s tonight for both teams. Brian Wren and Braxton Greenberg sharing the same number, and pitching on the same night here in Game 2. Not often you see that. As Greenberg is fired back into this count, it is now even at 2. Ryan looking to do something here. That one is low and away. Ball 3. Count runs full. It is concert tea night here at the ballpark. Come out in your favorite concert shirt you have. I've seen a lot of random ones. I've seen a Bob Marley shirt. I've seen, let's see, Nirvana. A lot of different band choices out here. A lot of variety. So now Greenberg's 3-2. And Ryan is going to hold off. Does not offer, and that is going to be the first walk of the night for Greenberg. Springer was going to steal second, had a great lead, but it does not matter anyway. Nobody out still, and runners on first and second for Bailey Bordas. So Bryson Hoyer, with his parents in town, able to give them a bit of a show. First pitch, knock out of the park. Right after his mom threw a ceremonial first pitch to him. How can you not be romantic about baseball? So Greenberg ready for his first pitch against Bailey Bordas. And Bordas is going to line that one foul, grounds it right past our assistant coach Anthony at the third base line. So the sun's starting to peek out here Getting a little bit hotter, but still feels great. We'd also like to use this time to tell you that we do have a bit of a promotion tonight. And since it is only the first inning as Bordas takes that one for strike 2, I feel it is my duty to tell you if you are in the Spearfish area, you could receive a free ticket to tonight's action if you bring 3 non-perishable canned goods. We have a food drive going on tonight at Black Hills Energy. We'd love to see you here, along with a free ticket. All it takes is 3 non-perishable items. And that one is going to be shot into left field, finds the gap. Gabe Springer rushing around from third, waved around, throw easily not in time, up the third base line. And Ryan Bachman takes third base, an RBI single for Bailey Bordas. He puts it into play. The Squatch have their first lead of the night and have fired right back. Runners now on the corners thanks to Bailey. Bordas on first, Bachman on third. And now time for Gage Crott to add on to this lead. Nobody out still. Brian Wren, as we mentioned, met the Big Sticks hitters early, giving up the first run of the game. But here in the bottom half, Bryson Hoyer, the leadoff home run, followed by a hit from Springer, a walk from Bachman, and now an RBI from Bordas. Gage Crott has an opportunity to add on here. So an 0-1 count now. Greenberg. We'll see what he pitches here to Gage. Gage has done an amazing job so far this summer. When he gets opportunities in the starting lineup, he makes the most of them, to say the least. Puts plenty of them in play, and even on softer contact on the infield, he is always able to race up the first base bag every time, making it a close play. Does not strike out often at all. So cannot say enough about what Gage has been doing, hitting .282 this season, and looking to add an RBI or 2 here in the first inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, and Squatch have yet to put up an out here in the first inning. Greenberg with the 2-1 to Gage. Ooh. Swing and a miss there. Count even at 2. And even more encouragement to come out. This is the most important series of the year. It all comes down to this. The 5-game set. Squatch took game 1. We'll talk about that more in the second inning. Plenty to recap. But right now, we have plenty of drama here in the first already. As the count runs full, Gage Crott, a ball away from loading the bases early. So let's see what Braxton does here. The payoff pitch, and Gage is going to ground that one just foul. Over there next to Alex Erlob at third base for the Big Sticks, manning the hot corner for the second night in a row. Looking at the infield defense for the Big Sticks, Alex Erlob at third and Alex Thurston at shortstop. So 2 Alexes manning the left side of the Big Sticks infield. We'll try again here. The 3-2, and Gage is going to lift that one way high into shallow right field. Carson Lundmark gets under it, gets a good jump there, trying, and the throw from Lundmark, excuse me, a good decision to keep Bachman over at third base. Do not want to test the arm of Carson in right. So the first out comes off of a pop-up from Gage Crott, but runners still in the corners for Trey Vorwald. Similarly to the Big Sticks lineup 1 through 9, it is hard to find a weak spot for the Sasquatch. You start out with a contact hitter in Bryson Hoyer, who can also hit for power, as we just saw a few minutes ago. And then throughout the middle of the lineup, you have guys like Trey Vorwald and Gage Crott back-to-back, who will put it in play. Both teams firepower offenses. The 0-1 in the dirt, as Gunnar Hansen keeps that one in front of him. We saw Gunner in the designated hitter position last night for the Big Sticks, as so many summer ball teams do. You'll see him in plenty of positions outside of just catching. The 1-1. Taken for strike 2. So now Trey has a good read on Greenberg. We'll see what happens here in a 1-2 count. Big Sticks trying to fire back after a Game 1 loss last night. It was a back and forth affair throughout the entirety of the game. The 1-2, Trey Vorwald gets just a piece of it, and Bachman is going to come home. A passed ball behind Gunnar Hansen scores Ryan Bachman. It is a 3-1 ball game. Heads up base running there. Bailey Bordas now on second base. And we will see what the appeal is from the Big Sticks dugout. They might be asking if Vorwald foul tipped that one. Not sure. Either way, it got past the catcher, and they're going to rule that it is a 3-1 ball game. Still, that Bachman did come home, and it was a passed ball. That it would be a strikeout of Trey Vorwald. So make that 2 outs here in the inning, and David Dielman getting some reps in the 7-hole tonight. The DH for the Sasquatch in Game 2. So the Squatch adding runs any way they know how. Dielman holds off of that one. Fired right down the middle for strike 1. In Game 1 last night, we had a record crowd of 817 in attendance. It was the most accurate playoff experience you could ever experience during the regular season. Braxton Greenberg fires outside for ball 2. It is a 2-1 count, 2 outs, and Bailey Bordas on second base. So a bit of a smaller crowd tonight, obviously, in Game 2, but we are really anticipating some huge turnouts for Games 3, 4, and 5. We look forward to Friday night, a fireworks night here at the ballpark, our last of the season. We hope to see you here, and get tickets while you still can. So now Greenberg with a 3-1 count, and David Dielman's going to ground that one up the middle. One hopper, the second baseman over to first, and we will see. That is going to be out number 3. Derek Calvillo caught a bit of a wild throw from Sean D. and dug it out of the dirt. Planting his foot down on the first base bag, able to make the catch and retire the side. But Braxton Greenberg gives up a solo home run followed by 2 more runs. The Sasquatch add on. It is a 3-1 ball game headed to the top of the second. Brian Wren looking to keep it that way. We'll be back in just a few minutes here in Game 2. Squatch ahead early.
In health, we keep going so you can keep going. With advanced orthopedic care, technology, innovations, and treatment. So keep exploring. Keep making memories. Keep going with Monument Health as your partner. Knee replacement? With the area's only ROSA robot, Monument Health offers a more personalized and precise procedure, customized for your anatomy. Get going with Monument Health, your partner for advanced orthopedic care.
So game 2 action here. The 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Big Sticks due up here in the top of the second inning. After a very productive and eventful first inning, 1 run for the Big Sticks in the top half, followed by 3 runs for the Squatch, the first lead of their night, as Gabe Springer takes a 1-hopper and makes a fired throw over to first for out number 1 to retire Gunnar Hansen. He was catching behind the plate. We mentioned him earlier just a few minutes ago, and retired on 1 pitch here in the second. Brian Wren looking to get settled in after he surrendered a run earlier on. An RBI shot from Daniel Rogers got the Big Sticks going early, but hopefully Wren can go deep into tonight's game. As Carson Lundmark, number 7, stepping in. And Lundmark, another one of those guys we're talking about, sort of like Calvillo. He's sort of taken a different approach here in the lineup in game 2. We usually see him right at the top, whether it be leading off or at least in the top 3. Tonight he's batting 6th. So the Big Sticks pushing around their lineup. And Brian's first pitch to Carson, who has been a Sasquatch killer, to say the least, throughout the regular season. The 11th matchup tonight between the Sticks and the Sasquatch. The Big Sticks taking the first 5 of 6 to start the regular season, as that was going to be softly grounded up the middle. Bachman's going to have to make a quick play. The throw over to first in time, as he fires off his back foot. Had to turn his body to make the throw, and he does. A quick 2 outs. And now Sean D., the second baseman, stepping in. So that's a good way to start it. We'll take more of that from Brian. As we will see what Sean D. can do. 0 for 5 last night, looking to change that tonight for the Sticks. Alex Thurston in the on-deck circle, 2 outs here in the second. And now Brian quickly ahead, 0-2. Would love to see a 1-2-3 inning here. A quick pitch count. And get right back to the bottom half of the second. See what Brian can do, the 0-2. And that one is going to be lined straight to Ryan Bachman, a 1-hopper hot shot off his glove. He's going to try to make a rush throw to first, not in time. As Sean D., the speedy second baseman, able to outrun the throw. He was hustling up the first baseline as soon as he made contact. As we said, it was a 1-hopper. Hard for Ryan Bachman to react in that span of time, but almost made it. It was a bang-bang play. Sean D. able to get the half step on Bachman's throw. So now that will bring up Alex Thurston, the shortstop. First time we've seen Thurston in this series, but we have seen him a couple of times before, including that 3-game set here at Black Hills Energy just a couple of weeks ago. Right when the Squatch truly found their stride to begin the second half of play. Thurston holds back, but either way it is a called strike 1. Brian Wren trying to work efficiently and fast here in the second. So we'll see what he throws now. It is a 1-1 count, 2 outs and a runner on first base. Wren's pitch. That one is going to be lifted out towards shallow left field. And that is going to be Gage Crott to make the catch. Does not have to move a muscle. And after allowing a 2-run infield single off of the bat of Sean D., Brian Wren gets out of business very easily. Or gets out of trouble, excuse me. Not much trouble to talk about. We head to the bottom of the second. It is still a 3-1 ball game for your Sasquatch. Be back in just a few minutes on our Spearfish Sasquatch YouTube channel.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice try.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
Welcome back here to the bottom of the second inning. The Squatch Bats looking to continue their hot streak. 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning, looking to add on as much insurance as they would like here in just a few minutes as Keenan O'Brien is stepping in and stepping up to the plate against Braxton Greenberg. Brian Wren, after surrendering 1 run in the top of the first, has settled in with a scoreless second. Braxton Greenberg for the Sticks looking to do a bit of the same. He surrendered 3 runs in the bottom of the first and is now looking to settle in against the bottom third of the Sasquatch lineup here now. Keenan O'Brien, the first baseman, now up. And as we mentioned earlier, just not many holes whatsoever in the Sasquatch offense as Keenan is going to lift that one into shallow center, and that one is going to drop. A leadoff bloop single really for Keenan. Able to put it in play, and that hitting slump, the so-called hitting slump, has seemed to be over for a while now, especially after last night when Keenan went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, and both of those runs scored off of an absolute laser shot right next to the Black Hills Energy scoreboard in the left field. A home run for Keenan. That had to feel great, and ever since then, he is right back in rhythm as Davis Carr is going to lay down a bunt, and we will see if that one goes foul, as it does. So Carr's going to have to run back. He almost had that one set down. Almost a perfect attempt there from Davis. Could not have asked for much better. Rolls foul at the last second. So Keenan still sitting there over at first base, as he has started his night tonight with a single. The 0-1 now to Carr. We'll see what he can do. That one's way outside. Ball 1. So now Davis still looking to see what he can do. He's had a bit of a struggle offensively at the plate this year, but that can always change, especially the most important part of the regular season. Only 3 more games after tonight. The Squatch looking to make every single one of them count. We need to win at least 2 more to potentially clinch the best second half record in our division. Excuse me, I don't like having to explain the playoffs. It always confuses me a bit. I feel like I don't do a great job explaining it. But either way, Squatch looking to win 2 of the next 4 against the Big Sticks. Hopefully a win tonight would be huge. The 1-2 now from Braxton. Taken low, ball 2. Carr batting 9th tonight. The lineup card will roll over, and Braxton knows he does not want to have to face Bryson Hoyer again with runners on base. Still nobody out here. Count even at 2. But either way, he will have to face Bryson in this inning no matter what. taken way high. A 3-2 count now. As we mentioned, wasn't that impressive of a stat or that entertaining, but I thought it was cool. Both pitchers tonight on the mound starting for each team wearing number 26, Braxton Greenberg and Brian Wren. Braxton from Plymouth, Minnesota, goes to Mayville State. And that one looked to be a bit high maybe, as Davis Carr is going to take a walk. Now runners on first and second, still nobody out, and Braxton Greenberg in a bit of trouble here in the second. As Bryson Hoyer steps in, the lineup card has officially rolled over. Bryson turned on one in the first inning, did not happen all too long ago. Just a few minutes, really. First pitch, home run. To get the energy going here at home. And we mentioned the playoff atmosphere we've been feeling. The crowd is just getting into it, understanding the stakes and how important these next few games are. Keenan O'Brien over there, few steps off. Good lead off second base. And Bryson Hoyer lays off that ball one. 4 hits and 3 runs. Only through 1 inning for the Sasquatch. So Greenberg playing at Mayville State, along with his teammate Carson Lundmark. And interestingly enough, a couple of our interns for the Sasquatch this summer, as Bryson Hoyer is going to put that one in play, lines it, as that one is going to get past the left fielder all the way. He is having to race back. They're going to wave one. Keenan O'Brien comes home. Davis Carr racing around. The throw nowhere near in time. A 5-1 ballgame. Squatch lead by 4, courtesy of Bryson Hoyer's second hit on the night. Goodness gracious, you can't keep a good man down for long. Bryson 0 for 5 last night with 3 strikeouts, comes back. A leadoff home run followed by a 2-run knock. A stand-up double over at second base. Which will actually be a single for Hoyer. My apologies. After the error in left field, allowing him to advance to second. But either way, putting it in play just as Gabe Springer did, but that one is going to be lifted. Enough for the left fielder Austin Bunn to get under it for out number 1. But not seeing many swings and misses. That is something that the Squatch offense has cut down on considerably. Especially considering, the first half of the season was a bit rough for the Sasquatch offense. Seemed to be any time we had a little offensive momentum going, getting runners on base, a couple of strikeouts, and maybe a ground out would end the innings. Not so much this time around. Squatch are taking advantage every single time with runners in scoring position. Not a lot of room to make errors for the opposing pitchers. As Ryan Bachman steps in, takes ball 1. But the fact I was saying about Braxton Greenberg from Mayville State, a couple of our interns, Trevor Schreiner, as well as Simon Ono, both of them being the baseball operations interns for the Sasquatch this summer. Good friends with Greenberg, as that one is going to be grounded. 1 hopper, and the throw over to first. Ryan Bachman retired for out number 2. And now here comes Bailey. Bryson Hoyer hanging out over at the second base bag. Hoping to make a turnaround third, if Bailey Bordas can put it in play. So a 4-run lead, courtesy of Bryson Hoyer, counting for 3 of those runs. And Bailey Bordas, that one's jammed in on the knuckles, and he yanks it foul. So Greenberg with a 3-3 record, a 3.74 ERA, a good strikeout to walk ratio, 34 Ks, 15 walks. You won't complain about that as a head coach. Bryson Hoyer still with that good lead off of second base. And that one will find the zone. Strike 2. So now with 2 outs, an 0-2 count against Bailey. The pitch, and Bailey is going to send that one into shallow left. Austin Bunn racing in on it, makes the sliding dive. Gets right under it at the last second to retire the side. Braxton Greenberg gets out of trouble, but the Squatch add on 2 more of their own. It is a 5-1 ball game early, and Spearfish is not looking to let up anytime soon. Headed to the top of the 3rd. Let's keep the trainer rolling.
For summer at the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City, trade-in values are at an all-time high, and there's never been a better time to buy. With over 400 vehicles on location, you're guaranteed to find the right ride to take you into summer. And while you're here, make sure to sign up to win some great summer gear, like a Rice Honda side-by-side, Black Hills Fireplace Traeger smoker, a variety of gift certificates, and more. Come by and check out a great selection of vehicles and summer gear at any of the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City and at menholdsummer.com.
So here in the top of the 3rd inning, Brian Wren with a little more run support to work with now. A 5-1 ball game. The Squatch have attacked early as he now faces off against Alex Erlob and fires that pitch by him for strike 1. So Wren facing his last batter before he starts seeing the Big Sticks lineup for the 2nd time around tonight. Erlob batting 9th. And playing second base, sends one, lifts it out towards deep center. Bryson Hoyer gets under it and makes the catch for out number 1. Easy as that. As Jake Brill, the leadoff hitter, now steps in once more. So a 5-1 ball game, even with the opposing firepower that the Big Sticks have 1 through 9. You still feel good about your chances, especially the way these Squatch have been hitting the ball. And would be huge to take game 2 after a huge game 1 win last night. Lots of times saying huge, but that's exactly what it was. A 7-6 victory for Spearfish, as that one is going to be grounded foul. It went back and forth seemingly all night, but in the 8th inning, in a tied ball game after a leadoff double for Ryan Bachman, first baseman Ryan Doran hit an RBI knock to take the final lead of the night. Snuck one right past the second baseman for the Big Sticks and scored Ryan. And then just in the 9th inning, Dylan Ritchie, the man who always puts everyone on lockdown, took care of business in a scoreless 9th to push the Squatch 1 game closer to playoff contention. Looking to close that gap here tonight on this Wednesday evening. 11 hits and 7 runs to show for it. And so far tonight, the Squatch are showing no signs of slowing down either. As that one's going to be lifted out at the warning track, Gage Crott makes the play. Started drifting more towards Bryson Hoyer, right and left center. But Gage Crott had a great read on it, able to retire Brill for out number 2. So Wren working very quickly so far after allowing back-to-back hits in the first inning to score the sole run for the Big Sticks tonight. Working quickly and efficiently so far here in the third. A quick 2 outs, and Austin Bunn steps in. And Bunn fouls that one off. Takes that one foul. It is a 1-1 count. Nobody on base. Austin got his night started just a few moments ago. 1 for 1. As he came around to score off of the shot from Daniel Rogers. That one is swung on and in foul ground. Keenan Rogers trying to make a play in foul territory, and he does. The high pop-up. Keenan O'Brien gloves it, and Brian Wren takes care of business. A 1-2-3 inning, retires the Big Sticks hitters in order. That's more like it. And we head to the bottom of the third inning, still on top by 4, looking to add on to it in just a few minutes.
Walk through life. Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day. And everything's going your way. And you wanna make it last forever. We'll keep it together, 'cause it keeps getting better. Hey, it keeps getting better.
A 1-2-3 scoreless inning for the man on the mound for the Sasquatch tonight, Brian Wren. He seems to have settled in completely and is enjoying his time on the mound now. One solo run in the top of the first, and back-to-back scoreless frames in the second and third has him working early. Now we turn it over to the new pitcher on the mound for the Big Sticks here in the third. And the first pitch is going to be grounded up the middle. Gage Crott puts it in play. And a leadoff single on the first pitch. Squatch ambushing. And they are getting everything to go their way so far tonight. So Crott now on first base, just in time for Trey Vorwald. We mentioned they're both batting 5th and 6th tonight, respectively. And always a serious threat in the middle of your lineup. And first pitch, fastball down the middle, strike 1. So Braxton Greenberg, that'll be the end of the line for him tonight. Only went 2 innings, gave up 5 runs, walking 2 and striking out 1 Sasquatch hitter. As the Sasquatch took advantage of his time on the mound early, and the Big Sticks not wanting to waste any time. They want to keep this a 4-run game to give their offense a chance to fight back into it, as they are very similar to the Sasquatch in that way. No deficit seems to be too much for either the big sticks or the Sasquatch. So a 2-1 count now with Crott over at first base. Nobody out. The pitch to Vorwald. Trey lifts that one foul out of play. So with Braxton Greenberg out of the game, that's going to bring in Cade Kazmersky. He's given up the single to Crott and is now locked in a 2-2 count. Kazmersky, the 6'3" righty from Kent, Washington, plays at Dickinson State University, along with the likes of his former teammates, Kobe Krenz. I'm sure there's a couple of others. Let's see, Jonathan Lerma, we mentioned him. He was the starter last night for the Big Sticks. Cade Austinson. Always cool to be able to see guys playing for their universities. That one's going to be a swing and a miss and a tag out of Gage Crott. Did not get a great jump from first base. So a strike him out, throw him out situation. A quick 2 outs. As that will take care of the first 2 batters here in the third. No more base runners, and now David Dielman with 2 outs. And that was going to be grounded up the middle, right where Crott hit his. So these Sasquatch hitters not wasting any time, as we've mentioned. I've said it over and over already tonight. Putting it in play and grounding it up the middle on multiple occasions. As now the second baseman, Sean D, is going to be shifted over much more to his right on the infield. He's been a lot closer to the first base bag, and now seeing how the Squatch have had a couple of hits already in this inning. Grounded up the middle, they're going to shade him to his right. As now Keenan O'Brien steps in and lifts that one out of play. Strike 1. Good to see a hit for David there. Dillman batting in the 7-hole tonight, playing DH. Will be attending Marshall University. So we'll see what Kazmersky has planned here for O'Brien. After the quick 2 outs in the matter of a pitch. And that one curves into the zone for 0-2, a nasty breaking ball there. And Keenan does not try to pull it whatsoever. Just sits there and watches it go past. Taking his time. The Squatch can be very patient, waiting on their pitches they want to see. That one out of the zone. Ball 2. So 1 run, 3 hits, and an error for the Big Sticks early on. 5 runs and 7 hits for the Squatch. They have had the upper hand early. Would not mind adding on a run or 2. And Keenan O'Brien's going to lift that one out towards deep center. The center fielder racing back at the track. That was going to be right off the wall. Easily going to score, David Dielman. He races around from third base, waved around, touches home plate. An RBI 2-out knock for Keenan O'Brien. This man cannot be stopped. 2 for 2 tonight. I was talking to Keenan earlier in the dugout a few moments ago, and he said, "Win, why was I not player of the game last night? I understand Ryan Bachman had a monster performance, but I was right there with him." Well, Keenan, my friend, if you keep hitting the way you are tonight, we'll have you in the booth up here in no time. Hopefully the result of a Squatch victory. So the first run of the night surrendered by Kazmersky. Davis Carr fouls that one off the protective netting. Everything going the Squatch's way here in game 2 to start the night. And man, for a second you were wondering if Keenan had lifted himself into another home run, that time to the deepest part of the field, all the way at the batter's eye, 400 feet. Fell just short, but you could tell by the way that Jake Brill was running out in center. He knew it was over his head. It was just a matter of how deep it was hit. But now Kazmersky looking to get out of trouble. Davis Carr looking to add on. So much action already. Similar to last night, but so far the Squatch have not had to battle back from a huge deficit. Last night it wasn't necessarily really big, but it was still 4 runs. And with a pitching staff like the Big Sticks, it's not the easiest feat to accomplish. The 0-2 now. Carr watches that one fall low. The first ball on the count. So now add on another hit for the Squatch. 8 on the night. And 6 runs to show for it. Davis is going to find a gap on the right side of the infield. They're going to send Keenan around, and they will not even try to contest a throw. The right fielder just throws back to second base. And call Davis Carr, State Farm. He is Mr. Insurance tonight. Adding on 1 more run to the total. It is 7-1, 9 hits. So the inning continues. Kazmersky cannot retire Carr, and he is now having to face off against the top of the lineup once more, the 3rd time through, and we're only in the 3rd inning. That tells you how well the Squatch have been seeing the ball so far. And we just talked about Keenan maybe being player of the game if he keeps hitting the way he is. A man that's going to contest him tonight is our leadoff hitter, Bryson Hoyer. A solo home run to get his night started. And another hit to follow, adding on 2 more runs. A 3 RBI night already for Bryson. He's looking to extend it here in the 3rd. That's a very satisfying trend to hear for your team when a player has 3 RBIs in the first 3 innings of play. So Carr on first, 2 outs, a 1-1 count now to Bryson. And that ball misses for a now 2-1 count. Another beautiful night here at the park. The Big Sticks and the Squatch are both battling it out. The Big Sticks bullpen very active early on. A big hack there from Bryson, who was trying to repeat the success from his leadoff dinger just a few minutes ago. So Cade's pitch on the way, the 2-2, and Bryson's going to send that one out towards the left center. We'll see if center field can come in on it. He will. As Jake Brill able to make the catch, he had to cover a lot of ground. The Squatch have been finding gaps here and there, whether it be through the infield or in the outfield. Squatch are doing it, and doing it early. Already 7 runs on the board through the first 3 innings of play, and the Squatch looking to add on inning after inning. We head to the top of the 4th. Brian Wren with 2 more runs to add on and work with now as he takes the mound in just a few moments on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in Spearfish, South Dakota.
All Balanced Bookkeeping, located right here in Spearfish, is your go-to place for all of your bookkeeping needs. Serving Spearfish for over 2 years, we have over 30 years of bookkeeping experience and can take care of any office tasks, large or small. Contact us now to get in touch with one of our many experienced bookkeepers.
headed to the top of the fourth, as Brian Wren out for another inning of work. Only surrendered 1 run through his first 3 frames, 3 hits, and has not walked anyone. That's the way we'd like to keep it. In his first start for the Sasquatch this year, he's made 2 relief appearances since joining the Sasquatch last week, and asked to cover a very important spot in this 5-game homestand. The most important game of his season easily. Now one finds the zone. A 1-1 count as he is now facing off against Daniel Rogers, the designated hitter. 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Big Sticks due up. And now the pitch from Brian gets past Davis. I spoke with Wren earlier. He just wants to attack hitters directly, as does any other pitcher, as well as really taking care of those 1, 2, 3 top of the order guys for the Sticks. And Daniel Rogers going to lift that one. Jammed him a high fly ball. Gage Kraut loses his hat in the process, but makes the catch right next to the left field line for out number 1. So Rogers retired, brings up Derek Calvillo. The Squatch have scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second, and now 2 in the third inning. They have just seemed to be finding gaps for every pitch. And it is just one of those nights for the Sasquatch offense. Really difficult for opposing pitching staffs to be able to take care of when the Squatch find their groove collectively as a team 1 through 9. The 1-0 now from Brian. Little outside, ball 2. So Calvillo from Dickinson State University. We just mentioned how there's many players in the local area playing for the Big Sticks this summer. Calvillo from Tucson, Arizona. The junior right-handed batter. So now the 2-1 to Derek. He is going to hit that one, a line drive into shallow left center. That one's going to get down. Hoyer corrals it. And that is going to be a 1-out shot for Derek. And since that infield single earlier in tonight's game after the first inning, that was the first hit for the Sticks. And a little bit. And leave it to Derek. We mentioned how Lundmark always finds a way to make the Sasquatch pay earlier in this season. Derek has done much of the same. An impressive power hitter for the Sticks lineup. He's hit a few bombs here at Black Hills Energy himself. So now Gunnar Hansen, the catcher, and a 1-0 count. He is going to lift that one. That one is going to be out towards Bryson Hoyer in center field. That one's going to get past him. So Calvillo, as Bryson is out on the warning track, easily going to score. And Gabe Springer out in shallow center cuts it off. And now it is a 7-2 ball game. The first run that crosses for the Sticks since that top of the first inning. So now 2 runs and 5 hits, and the Big Sticks are starting to make their move. And Gunnar Hansen having another great night for himself. As he is 1 for 2. Or excuse me, 2 for 3. And now Wren's 1-out pitch. That one's going to be hit sharply over to Bachman. The routine ground play is going to make the throw over to Keenan O'Brien for out number 2. Retires Carson Lundmark. He puts it on the ground and is able to advance Gunnar Hansen over to third base. But he trades that out for out number 2. So 2 outs here, and that is going to bring up Sean D., the second baseman. Sean is 1 for 1 tonight. And excuse me to correct my stats from a few moments ago, Gunner is only 1 for 2 on the night. But 2 runs driven in. That still applies the same. And Brian finds the zone for strike 1. We just talked about it a few minutes ago. The same capabilities that the Squatch have to turn a game on its head, so do the big sticks. That one gets way past Davis Carr, and that is going to score Gunnar Hansen. It is a 7-3 ball game and only a 4-run lead now for the Squatch. And a prime example right there. Any way that they can score, they will do it. Which is why the series is so entertaining to watch. Both teams do not let up whatsoever. That one's going to be lined right into left center, right past the outstretched arm of Gabe Springer, trying to make a diving attempt, unable to. And make that the second hit of the night for Sean D. with 2 outs. And Brian Wren facing a little bit more trouble now. A scoreless second and third, and now 2 runs here in the top of the 4th. And how big are those insurance runs in the bottom of the 3rd now? And that one is going to be lifted high. Well hit, but Gage Crott has a play on it. And shy of the warning track, makes the catch for out number 3. So Brian Wren shows he's human again. Gives up 2 runs in the 4th inning, but that is all she wrote. It is a 7-3 ball game, and the Squatch are looking to erase the 2 runs that the Big Sticks just scored here in the 4th inning. We'll be back in just a few minutes. A 7-3 ball game, Squatch on top.
New games every month at the Lodge. We are constantly updating our gaming floor with the latest fun games to keep our guests entertained with new games every month. For the freshest selection of slot machines in town, make the Lodge at Deadwood your gaming destination. The locals' choice for gaming excitement with the newest games is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
From what? Oh. Oof. Bro, Kesmercy's got like a crazy release. What'd you say? We are back here at Black Hills Energy Stadium. Game 2 between the Squatch and the Sticks. A beautiful night as the clouds are starting to part and nothing but blue skies ahead to finish off tonight's game. Gabe Springer puts a lift into that one as the center fielder racing back right on the track. And that one continued to carry but made the catch right above his head for out number 1. The Squatch just continue to put the ball in play. And we're not talking about just weak grounders here and there. Every ball has been well hit, whether it be lined right past the infield or just long carrying fly balls out in the infield. The Sasquatch are finding a way to put runs on the board, evident by the 7-3 ball game as of right now. The Big Sticks just put up 2 of their own in the top of the 4th, and Spearfish is looking to add runs of their own once more. So Ryan Bachman now stepping back in against Cade Kazmersky. This is his 2nd inning of work after coming in for relief of Braxton Greenberg. Greenberg only went 2 innings, giving up 5 runs in the meantime. And walking 2, Kazmersky had a bit of a shaky 3rd. The Squatch tallied 4 hits and 2 runs off of him, while Kazimierski was able to strike out one in the process. But he's quickly ahead of Bachman in an 0-2 count. And Ryan takes that one on the inner edge of the plate. A nasty pitch there. Blew it past Bachman and froze him. Unable to pull the trigger on that one. And a quick 2 outs now for Cade Kazimierski here in the bottom of the 4th. So Bailey Bordas, the final hope to get any sort of run going and get those runs right back. And as we tend to do so many times here in the booth, especially on long homestands, Bailey Bordas is going to line that one directly to the third baseman for out number 3. Great reaction there from the third baseman, Alex Erlop. Takes care of business, and a 1-2-3 inning. By far the best for the Big Sticks so far tonight. Kazimierski heads to the dugout. Still a 7-3 ball game, and we will see if Brian Wren returns. He will for his 5th inning. A 7-3 ball game. We'll have some exciting news as we have some exciting guests up here in the booth for Game 2. Be back in just a minute. Squatch on top by 4. Here in the top of the 5th, Cade Kazimierski just had a 1-2-3 bottom of the 4th to let the Big Sticks come out here in the top of the 5th. And Brian Wren back out for another inning of work. Fires fastball to Alex Erlop, who's batting 9th tonight. He fouls it off for strike 1. We mentioned a few moments ago in between innings that we will be having some special guests in the booth, some players from our dugout that we always like to put up here, especially during these Squatch winning streaks. Always brings us good luck, it seems, and tonight we've had him in the booth before. He has enjoyed his time so much that he has returned once more. I'm Wayne Andrews, voice of the Sasquatch, joining you alongside Wyatt Adams, one of our relief guys from the bullpen. Wyatt pitched a great outing last night for the Squatch. He had to come in pretty early in action, and he proved very impressive for the Squatch bullpen that needed some well-needed rest. So Wyatt, how are you doing? As that one is going to be lined over the first baseman's head into right field. Trey Vorwald cuts it off, but Erlob able to get a leadoff shot. So Wyatt, you got to speak some good luck into here so that we don't get a Big Sticks run here.
Wayne, I'm doing good. Always a pleasure to be up here. I think you forgot. You must have forgotten to announce our other guest that's in here with us, fellow pitcher Hunter Pauly.
Yeah, hey, sorry, I'm here. I'm just standing behind Wyatt, so you can't really see me, Wayne. But yeah, I'm back here.
I love watching both of you try to coordinate one headset at the same time. It's really exciting.
We're going to make it work.
So we get a starter from the rotation, and we also get the bullpen guy, as we are trying to bring double the luck tonight in Game 2. This is a very exciting series. Wyatt, tell me about how the feel in the dugout is right now, the atmosphere of what's going on, understanding how these stakes are so high.
Well, we definitely picked up some momentum last night. That was just a great team win all around. Everybody picking up slack from other guys, and yeah, great teamwork. So trying to keep that going. Everybody's positive today. I mean, as evidenced by the scoreboard, we've been able to put up a lot of runs, and Solid defensive effort, too, as Brian Wren is putting on for the city of Baltimore.
Yeah, the Baltimore guy. There we go. So Brian has done great, as we talked about so far. Only surrendered 3 runs to this point against a very dangerous Big Sticks lineup. And so far he has settled in and has had a good time so far, as that one is going to be popped up 15 miles in the air in foul territory. Keenan O'Brien takes care of it for out number 2. As, there we go. Takes care of it. Excuse me, that is going to be out number 1. My apologies. We were too busy talking to Wyatt here in the booth, as it now brings up Austin Bunn, batting second, the left fielder. Now, Wyatt, you had to face off against Austin last night. How was it having to go through on the mound in game 1 and remembering just how dangerous this lineup is? What did you do just to pitch around these guys and overall only surrender 1 run in the process?
Well, I didn't do much of pitching around. I just kind of tried to attack the zone and let them hit the ball if they were going to. I'd rather give up hits than walks. I think I walked one guy yesterday, but just trying to pound the zone and get ahead, and then I could pitch around a little bit if I wanted to. But yeah,
excuse me, I meant work around. So yeah,
yeah,
you definitely worked around. You did not pitch around.
I was working around, yeah. But big thing is getting ahead and counts, and then I can throw what I want to throw.
And Davis Carr bare hands it.
Play.
Oh my goodness! But apparently Ryan Bachman came off the bag in the process. Davis Carr barehanded a ball that was hit just fair. Barehanded it, made an incredible throw off of one leg over to Ryan Bachman. And apparently Ryan's foot just came off the bag at the last second. So looked good from up here,
that
but
was
man.
Extremely athletic from David Carr. Maybe Hunter Pauly could shed some insight on the type of catcher that he is, seeing as how they played in college together last year.
Yeah, Davis is I mean, he is something else. He's one of the most athletic catchers I think I've ever played with, and does a phenomenal job behind the plate. He's one heck of a player for sure. And right there, that play, I mean, there's not a lot of catchers that can jump up and make that play that Davis just did. So that's a great, I mean, he just got called safe, but that's a great play right there by Davis.
Davis certainly is a grinder. You know, he's always looking to help the team any way he can. Always eager to be in the bullpen catching guys to warm them up.
Absolutely. Great for that.
I love the color commentary we have going on between the two of you right now. It's good stuff. It's positive vibes here. The Black Hills Energy in game 2. Runners on first and second right now after Davis Carr almost made one of the craziest plays we've seen this season.
You know, when I think the best part about watching him make that play is when you go to give the play-by-play when you're up here actually trying to throw it in here when you don't even have a ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing the motion. It's pretty great.
Oh, yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. Y'all, I'm going to kick you out of the booth, okay? Can't stay up here for too much. I'm just kidding. So that's going to bring up Daniel Rogers, who has already had a bit of success offensively tonight so far. So Rogers 1 for 2.
Beautiful change up there.
Yeah, takes a big cut on that one for strike 2. We mentioned last night, Wyatt, you came out in a bit of a mess. Both pitchers for the Big Sticks starting out on the mound last night, Connor Jones and Jonathan Lerma for each team, only went 3 innings respectively. You had to come out as both teams are both having to kind of play a bit of bullpen chess, if you will, having to figure out in a depleted bullpen for both teams who they're going to throw in that situation. And you did a great job of it, making sure that you came in and were very effective. 3 2/3 innings, 2 hits, and no earned runs, 2 runs, but no earned, while walking 2 and striking out 2. So very impressive. And
thank you, Win.
Hopefully Brian Wren, as we mentioned a few minutes ago, hoping to go the distance. We'd love to see it. This is his first start, as we mentioned, and potentially the biggest spot of the season.
Yeah, he's certainly doing well so far. I think through 3, he was only at 27 pitches, so it's a great rate right there. And that pitch that he just threw right there was great too. 0-2, out of the zone, something that the batter's probably not going to put in play, but yeah, great pitch. Hopefully he keeps working here for us.
Quite economical.
It's funny that you say it was a bullpen chess match last night, because I'm somewhat of a chess player myself.
Oh, are you? Wyatt, do you want to elaborate on that? Because I didn't know that about you.
It was more of a checkers game, to be completely honest.
Oh, I understand. Polly. So a 1-2 count now. Runners on first and second, and 1 out. As Wren fires, and another foul off from Daniel Rogers, and the count and the battle continues. A beautiful night here. Wyatt, what did you feel having to pitch in front of that sold-out crowd last night, all 817 Sasquatch fans?
Well, Win, you never know the number when you're on the field. I just thought there were a lot of people there. So
Thank you so much, Wyatt. This is the most insightful interview I think I've ever had in my entire life. The 1-2 from Marin, and now Rogers is going to put it in play, lift it out towards left field. Gage Crott racing in on it, and we'll see if he got under it. Did he? He did! And the throw back to second, just a tad late, but Gage Crott makes a diving grab in left field, and he is pumped up about it. Why would you not be? Wow. Rogers put it in play, and it looked like he had a hit for a second. It was a bloop shot. He got just enough of it, and enough air for Gage to catch up to. And so neither runner advances. They have to head back to first base, first and second, and now 2 outs. And
Our outfielders lately have been looking like some veteran NFL cornerbacks, the way they're covering all this ground, Win. It's great to see, especially when you're on the mound.
Oh, yeah, the outfielder's covering plenty of real estate. Bryson Hoyer always managing the center field.
Looks like they're playing a cover 3 out there, Win.
It does appear to be a cover 3, Polly.
From what it looks like as of right now in the outfield, yeah, for sure. So Marin's pitch and fouled off from Calvillo as we are now in the 4 spot again for the Sticks.
Ryan's doing a great job of mixing speed so far this game. He's keeping all the batters off balance. A lot of fastballs, but he's mixing in changeups and breaking balls too. So hitters don't know what to expect right now as we see a late swing on that first fastball.
Nathan Leininger in the bullpen for the Squatch. We hope that we don't want to see him just yet. We'd love to see Brian go at least an inning more too. And that one is going to be right off the hands of Calvillo. And Bachman with the routine throw to first for out number 3. So Wren gets runners on first and second and able to take care of business. No one crosses for the Big Sticks. We head to the bottom of the 5th. A 7-3 ball game. I'm here with Wyatt Adams and Hunter Pauley in the booth. It has been a fun one so far. We hope to add on to this lead in just a few minutes. You're watching Squatch Baseball on our YouTube live stream.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Black Hills Energy Stadium. I'm Hunter Pauley with Wyatt Adams in the booth here. We're going to be calling this inning instead of a win today.
Welcome back, folks. Ground ball from Gage Crott to the shortstop. Comes in on
Shuffles,
it, whips it across the infield. That'll be out number 1 on the first pitch.
That ball had some heat on it getting across the diamond.
Yes,
Wyatt.
it did. He got a nice little shuffle in there. Looked like he was pulling down at a showcase, Hunter.
Absolutely. You see you always see these kids at the perfect game showcase. It's unrealistic. They field the ball back at shortstop, take 3 crow hops, throw it 100 miles an hour across the diamond.
Yeah, literally 100 miles an hour. We saw that recently from a kid. I don't know if you saw that video, but
I actually did
impressive
not.
nonetheless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Trey Vorwald.
Ball 1 will be high from Trey Vorwald. We were talking with Wynn about this recently. I think this pitcher has an unorthodox release point, it appears. So I think that's given our hitters some trouble so far.
As that ball is high and in to win, or Trey for ball 2. Looks like Trey swinging a new bat today after his broke last night.
Take strike 1 on the outside corner. It's a good spot there.
Absolutely. Looked like a fastball to me.
It was a fastball.
It was fast.
Love to come back with that one and get a take 2-0. Sometimes you leave a fastball 2-0 over the plate, and the hitter sends it into the mountains in left field. So.
Those are some big mountains, Wyatt. I would not want one going up there.
No, I wouldn't want one there either.
This looks like Trey swings and misses right there on a slider down and away.
So we got 2-2. What's the put-away pitch here for you, Hunter?
My put-away pitch here, probably a fastball.
So we get another slider there.
The odds
just outside, missed.
The odds I throw it in the strike zone on 2-2, not very high, but
well, if you're throwing fastball 2-2, you'd rather it be out than over the middle. So
absolutely. Full count here to Trey.
So he's gone 2 sliders in a row here. See what he goes. Fastball in, misses just off the plate. Trey Borwald takes ball 4, and Squatch have a runner on base with 1 out.
Trey's a very, very good disciplined hitter.
Very disciplined.
Amazing to watch every single day, in and out. It's amazing.
Phenomenal. Trey's a guy that doesn't really get in trouble with velo. He kind of just gets his foot down early and able to get that barrel out in front.
Absolutely.
David Dielman, I believe he had a ground ball up the middle for a base hit last at bat. See if he can do it again here. Take strike 1 over the heart of the plate.
That one was right down Main Street.
Yes, it was. Maybe he's looking for something else here.
That's what I'm kind of thinking. Probably went up there with the thought of slider. And
yeah.
Think it's
maybe
one.
We get a hung slider here, and he can put a barrel on it. He's back to fastball, misses up there. 1-1 here.
Not much going here in the Sasquatch bullpen, as Nathan looks like he's sat down.
Well, I mean, after giving up 2 in the 4th, Brian came back and put up another 0. So
yeah,
something you love to see as a coach.
That ball's fouled back. Going to be foul.
Looks like he's regained his footing on the mound. David
Absolutely.
Dielman now 1-2 for him.
This is a tricky mound to throw off of. It
seems like it changes every time you pitch on it.
Oh, absolutely. And I know from experience, you don't soak it right before you pitch.
No, you do not do that. You know, you want to elaborate on what you mean by that?
Yeah. So
David Dielman ground ball to the second baseman. He's going to roll it to the shortstop. Get it to first just in time. So the big sticks turn 2 to get out of the inning.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. You're watching Sasquatch Baseball.
When you venture to spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
To the top of the 6th we go. It is a 7-3 ball game as Brian Wren enters on the mound one more time. We will see how long he stays in this game, as he has been very efficient so far. As we were talking, I'm with Wyatt Adams right now here in the Sasquatch booth. We were just mentioning.
Yeah, I'm here too.
And
still, you just probably can't see me still because I'm standing behind Wyatt.
No, don't worry. I see both of you. Y'all actually just had a perfect play-by-play and color commentary sort of bottom of the 5th inning. It was very impressive. As
Thank you, Win.
Thank you.
As
Appreciate
Brian is going to fire that one a bit low. It is a 2-0 count now to Gunnar Hansen. 3 runs, 8 hits for the Big Sticks to this point. 7 runs and 9 hits for the Squatch. And Brian looking to come out and put up another 0 on the board here in the top of the inning. So neither team has scored since the top of the 4th, when the Big Sticks put up 2 of their own. As every single game seemingly goes between these two teams, back and forth all the time.
Just like a seesaw, Win.
Just like a seesaw. That's a great comparison. And
Or
that one,
teeter-totter.
as that one is going to get past Bordas. It was a hot shot off his glove, try to make the diving attempt, but it is going to drop into left field for a leadoff single.
You know, I say a teeter-totter win because one side will go and win one game and the other side will win the next. You picking up what I'm throwing down?
That's pretty groundbreaking, actually. I do pick up what you're putting
Well,
down,
I might
Hunter.
have to disagree with that, though, because if we're in the teeter-totter metaphor, hopefully we are a one-sided teeter-totter in which one team wins every game, that team being us.
Yeah, but sometimes you just can't win every single game. The just cards are not in your favor every single game.
That's true, maybe true. Hopefully not tonight, though.
I like the way you think.
I'm getting chills right now just hearing this talk between the both of you. Man, this is good stuff. So a leadoff single, and now Brian Wren gets back to work. Still a 4-run lead to work with. That one fires in the inner edge of the zone for strike 1.
Good to see him come back into the zone after that leadoff single there. Hopefully he can work a double play ball. That would be huge for the program.
Absolutely. We want that double play ball.
And here's Carson Lundmark. Brian ahead, 0-1 the pitch. And that one is going to be lined directly up the middle into shallow center. Bryson Hoyer cutting it off, and they are going to keep their runner over at second base. So now runners on first and second, still nobody out. We will see how long Brian stays in. Now, White, you were just talking about how his pitch count was very efficient up to this point, but we might want to be seeing him later on if we were to be headed into the playoffs.
Hopefully he'd be able to bounce back quick. So we got a mound meeting. Looks like Nathan Leninger is back up in the pen. You know, 2 hits, but not bad hits. A little soft little line drive into center field there, and then I think the first one was a ground ball. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hunter.
No, I think you're right. Ground ball, yep.
So 2 base hits to start this off, but Brian's still doing pretty well. Not many barrels so far.
And that has been the name of the game for Sasquatch, just barrel after barrel seemingly.
Yes, it has, Wayne.
I think finding the ground is another name of the game for us, too. We're just looking for that green grass out there as well as the barrels.
Of course.
So now let's look at things. Coming back into it, Brian Wren has now surrendered 10 hits through 5 innings pitched, but the big number on the board are now only 3 runs. The Big Sticks have not been able to capitalize as much as they would like, and they are looking to make this a closer game here in the top of the 6th. We hope that's not the case, but with runners on first and second, nobody out, Brian Wren is going to have to react quickly. Nathan's still warming up in the pen as both bullpens are warming up now. The Big Sticks have been working with guys in there for the past few innings, but so far Cade Kazmersky has done his job. That one is going to be a bunt attempt and popped foul down the third base line.
Narrowly avoided the pop-up bunt out there. That's a hitter's worst nightmare win.
So how is it, just being bored in the dugout right now, understanding that neither of you will be pitching today, just coming into the booth, is this a lot more fun than what's going on down there?
Win, it's always fun to spend time with you.
Absolutely. I mean, I love being up here. I love spending time with you, Win. I love the dugout, but like when I love standing up here and talking and just giving the people a good insight on what's going on in the game and in the dugout and just everything about everything. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Hunter. That was very insightful. The pitch
Third round
now.
bunt again. I'll take ball 1 though, so 1-1 here.
Sean D has been showing bunt. And with a speedy runner like him, obviously the reason why. Runners on first and second, and D doing anything he can to advance the big stick hitters. So you don't want to make this any closer than it has to be. We'll see what Brian can do here. D shows bunt again, the 1-1. And he is going to lift that one out towards Bryson Hoyer, but that is going to drop right into his glove for out number 1.
Puts that throw right on the money to third base of Bailey Bordas.
Oh, yeah. Bryson
Shades
Hoyer,
of
man.
Carson Green out there, Win.
Bryson's such an underrated center fielder. We were just talking about it. Has an arm. You do not want to test it at any point in time.
It's cannon out there.
Yeah, no, you don't want to run on him.
So, Hunter, talk to me about what you've been up to for the past few days. I've been seeing some action on your Snapchat story.
Yeah, you know, I'm a fisher. I like to go out here and fish. I'm a hunter, but like I'm a fisher in the same token. I love to go out and fish, catching fish, eating fish, just.
Wow, the 0-1 the 1-out pitch from Marin as he is looking to get through the 6th completely.
Sorry, White. I just like to go fish, pretty much, and lift weights.
And that has been understood.
Well, couldn't tell by looking at you, Hunter. Just joking. Just joking.
So Wyatt Adams and Hunter Polly with us in the booth, both very bored of standing around, wanted to come do a little commentary of their own. So very glad to have them here with us as that one has popped up way high, foul, into the big stick bullpen.
1-1 here. We're just a pitch away from the inning being over here if we get a double play ball.
Would be a huge spot. Rin has been good.
So Win, usually when players come up in here, you interview them. I think Hunter and I thought we'd ask you a couple questions tonight. Is that all right with you?
We're going to be conducting the interview.
Okay, well, I don't know. I'm not used to answering the questions.
It's another foul ball. We got 1 and 2 here.
If you have any questions to ask, fire away.
So Win, take me back to your playing days. What kind of batter were you? Were you more of a power hitter with a few strikeouts here and there, or were you a contact speed guy?
I was about neither. I was horrible. So that's about all you can say. That's about all I can say. Couldn't really catch up to much, and that is why I'm here in the booth. I'm an avid watcher and listener and talker. I am not more of the player. So that's where you come into play, Wyatt and Hunter. Y'all actually do the playing.
There's another foul ball, so still 1 and 2 here.
Win, if you could rate your arm back when you played on 1 to 1,000, what would you say it was?
Back in middle school, I'd have to say, about a solid 5. Pretty decent.
Well, that's better than a 4, Win.
It is. Always one step up.
Strike
As
3 blows it right by him there. Brian Wren.
Wren comes back with the fastball.
Phenomenal. Win, I heard through the grapevine that you hold the receiving yards record for your high school in, remind me of the name of his hometown again, Hunter.
Georgia.
Sandersville, Georgia.
Sandersville, that's
place.
Right. Wait, is that right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We are the greatest hometown of all time, Sandersville,
no,
Georgia.
Is that right about your receiving yards record?
Absolutely.
That's crazy. So
thank you so much.
For strike 1.
Thank you, Hunter. So based on your athletics history, I'd have to compare you to
Randy Moss,
a Deion Sanders type, or Bo Jackson maybe, just with the dual sport threat.
Absolutely. I am something else out there. I am speed. That's what they used to call me.
I was thinking more Ray Lewis or...
Ray Lewis? Something. Linebacker, I was not. A 1-1 count, 2 outs, and 2 on.
Did you play basketball ever, Win?
You know, I played basketball here and there. I dabbled in basketball. I don't know if playing was the key word. I was pretty horrible. So we're just exposing all of my athletic inexperience here, man.
Oh, Win, you could just tell us that you were the best basketball player ever, and we wouldn't know any different. So
I guess you could. I was the modern-day MJ. A 1-2 count. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. The pitch. And apparently the scoreboard has not been updated. It is not a 1-2 count, excuse me.
I think it is now.
It is now. Okay. So
it's-
now the count is
count
2 and 2. My apologies, everyone. So a now count even at 2. 2 outs, runners on first and second. We'll see what Brian can do here. The pitch outside. Count runs full.
No chase on the fastball there, but that's a good 2-2 pitch. What do you have to say about that, Hunter?
I actually have a question for Win. Win, did you ever participate in underwater basket weaving? I know that's a big thing in Washington, but I didn't know if that's a thing in Georgia.
It's an alternate sport. Yes, I was definitely into that. As that one was going to be grounded foul at the third baseline. Count will remain full. Wyatt Adams and Hunter Pauly having a time in the booth right now in this inning.
We're really having a good time, Win. We're really enjoying ourselves.
Yes, we are, Hunter.
I'm glad y'all are. It has been my pleasure.
So, Win, it's been a while since I've been in the South. What's life like down there at UGA where you attend?
It is humid. I am sure of it. It will not quit being humid until about November, probably. And even then, still a little humidity here and there. Brian Wren fires that one just outside of the zone. Now bases are juiced with 2 outs. As this is going to bring up the next batter in the big stick lineup.
It's decision time here for Coach. Choose to pull him right here and put in Leninger if he's ready, or give him this last batter and hope he can get out of the inning. What are you doing here if you're the coach, Hunter?
You know, I'm going to trust him right here. I'm going to give him an extra batter. I'm going to have some faith in my guy right here, Brian. I think he's a stud. I think he can get us out of this and get us out of this inning and get us back hitting. What do you think, Wyatt?
I agree. I'd leave him in there. He's a real gritty guy from Baltimore, so I trust him to put in the work right here and work out.
And it's a 4-run lead as that one is going to be popped up way high. Bryson Hoyer only takes a few steps in, charging, still makes the play. Bases loaded, but nothing comes of it. As Brian Wren through 6, only giving up 3 runs. A great outing for him in his first start as a Spearfish Sasquatch in the last week of the regular season. Squatch looking to add on a couple of insurance runs here and there, headed to the bottom of the 6th. But we thank Wyatt Adams and Hunter Pauly for being in the booth with us tonight. It has been fun so far. Thank you, men. It has been a great time.
Thank you, Win. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, Win.
Always a pleasure. Hunter Pauly and Wyatt Adams, ladies and gentlemen. Always fun. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Squatch still up by 4. So welcome back here to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 4-run affair, and the Squatch are looking to add on here as Kobe Krenz now takes the mound and just fired a fastball right past Keenan O'Brien for a called and a swung on strike 1. So 3 runs and 10 hits for the Big Sticks, whereas the Squatch are adding 7 runs to their total tonight and 9 hits to show for it. Hopefully we can add on here 3 runs for the Squatch in the first, 2 in the second, and 2 in the third. As Keenan's going to put that one in play on the ground over to the shortstop. The throw over, a 1-hopper, but Derek Calvillo able to glove it cleanly for out number 1. I'm here with Wyatt Adams once more, as we just had a bunch of players in the booth at once wanting to hang out, understanding this is their last week of the regular season. Why not come up to the booth when they have the opportunity? So, Wyatt, glad to still have you in the booth with us right now.
Glad to be here when the Big Sticks defense have been very good tonight, especially the infield. That was a great backhanded play. First baseman Derek Calvillo makes a great scoop on that tweener hop. So, good on them.
As we just had Hunter Pauly in the booth a few minutes ago as well. He told us a lot about what he's been doing, which was really just him talking about fishing. So he decided he got bored in the booth.
Catching fish, eating fish.
Just a lot of, fish.
All about fish in
so,
general.
A lot of fishing going on here in South Dakota for Hunter. He got bored and decided to go back down to the dugout, but Wyatt always enjoys his time with us in the booth.
Yes, I do.
As he pitched just last night in Game 1 against the Big Sticks, excuse me, and he was very impressive. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, and 2 runs, none earned.
So when you mentioned, or rather, we all noticed that the last guy that pitched, Cade Kazmersky, had an interesting arm slot and release point, but I would argue that this pitcher has an even more interesting arm slot. He comes out of the side a little bit and really deceptive with it, hides the arm a long time. So
well, you
I would not want to
recognize
step in the box against him with that arm action.
And that might be contributing to the Squatch being held scoreless the last 2 innings. You have to realize, going from Kazmersky, like you said, a bit of an interesting release point. I noticed that right off the bat, really keeping these Squatch hitters off their stride a little bit compared to those first 3 innings of play. And you recognize Kobe Krenz, right? You've heard the name. He is not just out of the bullpen. He plays a lot of second base, shortstop sometimes here and there. He started last night as that one gets way away from the catcher and hits the backstop.
And with an arm action like that, sometimes that's going to happen. He just yanked that one a little bit off. But maybe he'll get it dialed back in here. Yeah, as a hitter going against this type of arm, you just pick up the ball later. It's harder to get timing down because the arm just kind of appears and then the ball's out of his hand quick. So even with, doesn't look like he's throwing that hard, but that one misses way inside. So a car's going to be walked here. Even with, not overpowering velo, as the batters are picking it up later and having less of a chance to see what pitches come out of his hand, it can be effective.
So make that a 1-out walk on Kobe Krenz as Davis Carr takes first base, and that is going to bring up the top of the lineup card once more. Bryson Hoyer stepping in, looking to add on to his fun night. Wyatt, I was telling you earlier that Bryson was 0 for 5 last night and then has fired back 2 for 3, 3 RBIs so far.
Bombs from Bryson today. That was outstanding.
He is going to ground that one just foul. Gets just a piece of it. I wasn't really sure if that one was gone right off the bat. I was in the middle of saying something, I forget what it was. But that one was lifted out right to the place where Keenan O'Brien hit his 2-run homer last night.
Hit the board just like Keenan's. Yeah, I don't think anybody expects the first pitch to be hit out of the park one, so I don't think anybody can blame you for talking about something else as that happened.
A leadoff first pitch home run from Bryson. Would love to see something like that again with Davis Carr over on first base and 1 out. Takes a hack. He was trying for it. And a quick 0-2.
That was a great sequence there. Fastball in a little bit, just dives in off the plate and then starts a slider in the same spot and finishes out. So has Bryson off timing a little bit here. Hopefully he can get on time and put some in play.
So the Sasquatch able to go to their bullpen a lot later than the Big Sticks had to tonight, after Braxton Grieber only went 2 innings, followed by a 3-inning outing from Kazmersky, as Cade only gave up 4 hits and 2 earned runs, striking out 2 Squatch hitters in the meantime. And now time for Kobe Krenz, as this is his first inning. And the Big Sticks bullpen has been working all night. 2 arms warming up right now in the pen. And the Squatch is relatively silent. as we should expect to see Nathan probably come out for the 7th, I'd have to imagine.
I would agree with you with that one. I feel like that was probably Brian Wren's last hitter there, so great that he could get out of that.
A bases loaded jam as that one is going to find a gap all the way out towards the warning track. The left fielder trying to cut it off. Davis Carr headed to third base, and he will be stopped there as he puts on the brakes. And that is going to add on. So Bryson Hoyer has officially outbid Keenan O'Brien for Player of the Game awards so far. Make that 3 for 4 and 3 RBIs.
Double. Did he hit a single earlier, Lynn?
Yes.
So he's a triple away from the cycle right now. That's outstanding.
And Bryson, why not do it in front of your parents after they threw out the ceremonial first pitch just a few moments ago? Well, not a few moments ago, but before the game, around 6:35. He has been great, putting on a show. And Wyatt, unfortunately, your parents are in town right now.
I was going to say, speaking of parents, shout out to my parents who were on the road to Spearfish last night as I entered the game.
And that one over the head of the catcher, right past his glove. But luckily for Kobe Krins, that one hit off the backstop hard enough and right back into the glove of Hansen. So Carr not able to make any sort of attempt to come home. But runners still both in scoring position, 2nd and 3rd for Gabe Springer. 1 through 9 as there's going to be a quick mound visit now. 1 through 9 for the Sasquatch, as the same as for the Big Sticks. You just can't seem to find a break whatsoever if you're the opposing pitcher.
Squatch bats are relentless one.
And at the possible best time, realistically, having to see this is the most important series, as we mentioned. We need to take at least 2 of the 4 against the Big Sticks to end this 5-game set. We took game 1 last night. We are well on our way to winning game 2 if everything stays the course as of right now. But you never want to take your chances. The Big Sticks will strike back just as quickly as the Sasquatch do.
They're dangerous, as you said. You've been saying. Dangerous offensive team. So pitchers got to stay locked in. Defense has to stay locked in. Our hitters can keep hitting, but if we don't stay locked in defensively, then, hitting doesn't matter so much.
So a 4-run ball game, and the Squatch are knocking on the door. 7 runs, 10 hits, and hopefully a few more here, courtesy of the the bat of Gabe Springer. As we've seen Gabe turn on a few here and there, he has been one of the most consistent hitters after a struggle in the early first half of the season, especially over the weekend against the Casper Horseheads. All 3 games, he was just seemingly getting a hit every at-bat. Would be a big one right here to easily score Carr and maybe Hoyer over at second.
Hoyer's got some speed that we see in the outfield every time he gets a ball, so I think he'd be all the way home on a single here.
Absolutely. So let's see what Springer can do. The 1-1, he's going to ground that one just foul.
Just foul right down the line
from the first base bag.
That ball's probably getting past the right fielder if it stays fair. So nearly a double or a triple there, 2-run score. Hopefully he can put one fair here. The Big Sticks have an interesting shift here. They've pulled the second baseman way over in the 4-hole and left the shortstop left at second base. So huge gap in between in between second base and shortstop.
Springer easily able to lay off of that one. Yeah, what we were just saying, Wyatt, is I'm sure it's been shifted over after so many grounders up the middle, right past the second base bag. The Big Sticks had to make the adjustment and said, hey, a few too many up the middle. Wanted to make the change. I don't blame him. The 2-2. And Springer gets just a piece, fouls it back against the netting. So, Wyatt, you've been here the entire summer as we are winding down our final couple of days here in Spearfish. What have you noticed completely? The team chemistry change, whatever it was, what has made the Squatch become a complete team compared to the early season struggles?
Well, I think all the hitters kind of just got hot at once and have stayed hot, and the pitchers, there's ball 3, so Gabe working the count full here. Pitchers just kind of piggybacked off each other, started doing well, and now everybody's locked in together. So I think it's just everybody doing well at the same time, and it's like you said earlier, it couldn't happen a better time because this is the play where we make or don't make the playoffs. So.
And one of the biggest spots in tonight's game could add on a run or 2 right here if Gabe Springer were to square up and find a gap. As the count is full, 1 out, and Kobe Krins facing a bit of trouble in his first inning. So we'll see what he has up his sleeve. Carr on third, and Bryson on second. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Wow. So Kobe Krenz looked like he pulled a string on that one.
Looks like he did. I think it was a changeup. Gabe was just out in front of it. You know, just a great executed pitch there at full count. So tough at bat there for Gabe. He worked the full count, saw some good pitches. So you know, not the outcome we want, but still good at bat.
Springer expecting the express, caught the local. So 2 outs here, runners on second and third, and Ryan Bachman stepping back in as the final hope to push a few runs across here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 8:31, almost 2 hours since first pitch. And that one inside.
Ball 1. Bachman is coming off an absolutely electric night last night.
Oh yeah, we can talk all about it. We mentioned a few other players from last night's performance, but Ryan was our player of the game, no doubt about it. 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, and both of them coming off of the insane 2-run homer. He and Keenan O'Brien were trying to compete for who could go yard farthest in the left field.
I think Bachman edged him out just a little bit when.
The 1-0 turns 1-1, so Ryan waves that one off and is trying to get the feel for Kobe Krenz here.
Kobe Krenz has been landing the slider a lot, so if I'm a hitter, I might be sitting on that in the zone. I haven't seen a lot of heaters in the zone. Maybe Bachman changes the approach here, but although if I'm him, I probably don't change anything about what I'm doing.
He's batting .348, so there's not much to change if I were Ryan. That one is going to be lifted, and that one's going to drop. So one comes home, Davis crosses, and not Gabe, Bryson Hoyer, as he throws cut off from the catcher to score. 9-3 ball game, and just like that, what the doctor ordered, a 9-3 ball game off a 2 RBI knock and a double from none other than Ryan Bachman.
Ryan Bachman went, and Kobe Krenz went back to slider there, and he hung it, and Bachman was on it. Just flipped it right into center field, right over the shift.
It's getting boring, honestly, having to see Ryan just come up to the plate because it's become expected, right? You know, it's right on cue every single time. You know what you're going to get with a batter like Ryan.
Yeah, model for consistency lately, and pretty much for the whole season.
So now here comes Bailey Bordas. I don't know why I was so convinced that Bailey was on second instead of Bryson.
Bailey has been doing very well recently on the bat too. A lot of extra base hits.
He has found his stride.
He pretty much lives at the wall. Oh, there's a strike 1 called.
You know, one of those typical power hitters. Bailey knows exactly. You know what you're going to get out of Bailey. When he makes contact, though, he is dangerous. It is always scary, as you said.
He just swings the bat so fast when it's contact is very dangerous, like you said.
Always lifting it to the, as he does right there, sends that one deep out towards left center. The center fielder getting a read on it and makes the play for
just under that ball.
Out number 3. Bailey could have sent it if he didn't get just under it the way he did. But either way, 2 runs cross what we were needing, a 9-3 ball game, and the 2 runs scored from the big sticks in the 4th have been canceled out. It is once again a 6-run affair. We head to the top of the 7th, and we look to keep it right here. I'm Win Andrews alongside Wyatt Adams in Game 2. The Squatch, the Sticks. We'll be right back with you.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on, and she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice play.
Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover.
To the top of the 7th we go. We are moving right along as the Squatch are trying to make their bid for their 2nd win in a row against our friends from North Dakota, the Badlands Big Sticks. It has been a fun one so far as the 2, 3, 4 hitters are up for the Sticks. And the new pitcher on the mound as we, after 6 innings of great baseball from Brian Wren, our starter, now give way to Nathan Leininger on the mound. As he fires that one in for strike 1. I'm Win Andrews, voice of the Squatch, alongside Wyatt Adams, one of our very own relief guys out of the pen this season. A 9-3 ball game after the Squatch offense pulled across 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th.
Strike 2 there. Nathan's doing a great job of pounding the zone out of the pen. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Hunter Pauly for a phenomenal air guitar performance in between innings.
Yeah, not sure if you saw that, but Hunter was with us in the booth a couple of innings ago and then decided that he got bored, went down to the field, and just beat out Samson the Sasquatch in a dance-off. So he's had a very productive night. He's been all over the place. And 0-2 turns 1-2. We should just have an around-the-world special with Hunter Pauly.
You know, he's a very interesting man, Win.
I feel like we'd have plenty of people view in.
him in Walla Walla this year.
Oh, yeah, not too far from where you're from, Wyatt.
Not too far at all.
As we mentioned last night, Wyatt pitches at Whitman College. He'll be beginning his sophomore year with the team. Wyatt, what are you anticipating when you return this fall?
This fall, I'm anticipating some great freshmen coming in. I know we've got a great recruiting class. I'm anticipating some great lifting sessions with the team. That was definitely a highlight of my experience last year with our strength coach. Another great addition to the program last year. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Win.
So the 2-2 from Nathan, low and away in the dirt, and did not mean to do that one. Threw a bit inside, and Austin Bunn will take first base. So now here comes Rogers. 1 for 3 with an RBI.
Wayne, you never like to see a hit by pitch, but there from Nathan. The 2 pitches before that missed out pretty bad, so got to make an adjustment there and try to bring the ball over the plate. Looks like he just brought it too far in.
Right.
So it's good to see from him, and even if it was a hit by pitch, that he's up there making adjustments, trying to get the ball over the plate.
Nathan has yet to have an appearance out of the pen at home this season, as he joined around the same time that Brian Wren did, I guess technically. Maybe time that Brian Wren did, I guess technically. Maybe a little over a week ago at this point. But Nathan, as he just fired in strike 1, has had all 3 appearances out of the pen away. So his first home time on the mound. Excited to see what he has to offer in a 6-run ball game. Throws that one inside, and Davis Carr has been great about keeping it in front of him, as he usually does. So we'll see what Nathan has here. Leininger will be joining the University of Toledo this season. So very excited to see what he has to offer after his summer with the Squatch. So now 2 balls and a strike against Rogers with Austin Bunn over at first base. Nathan's pitch, little outside, ball 3.
The 2 balls, this time missing arm side, so looks like he's found the adjustment he was trying to make, but hopefully he can bring one in again and find the zone here.
So now the 3-1 from Nathan, and a swing and a miss, big cut there from Rogers for strike 2. So we're excited for the rest of these games this week as the regular season concludes on Saturday night in Game 5 between the Squatch and the Sticks. Hopefully, we already have a playoff berth in the works, as that is going to be a hit by pitch and then a walk as Rogers takes first base. Now runners on first and second. It is a 6-run ball game, but as we mentioned, similar to the Squatch, you never want to give the Big Sticks offense any free passes. Is that right, Wyatt?
That's right, Wayne, and like you said, hit by pitch and a walk, but if I'm Nathan, I'm not too worried. I think he's just barely missing the zone here. He's staying around the zone. Nothing's off too far, so I think he's just a little bit away from getting dialed in and getting some outs here.
Right, just get back to the basics. He knows that. As there's a quick mound visit here between Coach Hunt and Nathan. They're going to strategize what to do against Derek Calvillo, the first baseman. Wyatt, you remember Derek, I am sure, as just we've seen him all the way throughout the season. As are you were a day one for the Squatch, he has been a day one for the Sticks. And he's had a few home runs for himself.
He lives in my nightmares when.
Yeah, a couple
Just kidding.
of times.
No, he's been solid offensively all year for them. I was surprised to see him in the 7-hole when we faced them this series.
And batting cleanup today.
Oh, he's batting cleanup. Okay, yesterday he was in the 7-hole.
He and Lundmark have sort of switched positions.
Yeah.
So Lundmark's usually in the top 3. Tonight, batting 6th. I mentioned it earlier, the Big Six are trying a different offensive positioning tonight.
Yeah.
Seeing what they like.
But anyways, Calvillo, very, very good against us the first few times we faced them, and then season passed, and here we are again, and he was in the 7-hole last night, so that was just a little surprising to me, but he continues to hit well for them. So.
Did he hit a home run off of you here at home at any point in time?
I don't think it was him. One of the other Big Sticks guys did.
Sorry, plot
I've
twist.
Lost track.
Oh, no, Wyatt, give yourself some credit. The 0-1 now from Nathan, looking to stay ahead. But the count evens at 1 against a very, very power-heavy hitter here in Calvillo. He's got the quick hands, just as we talk about Bordas Calvillo, much the same. He kind of has the same neon gloves as Harrison Clark.
He does. Reminds me of Harrison up there.
We miss Harrison.
A lot of juice in that bat, just like in Calvillo's.
And, you know, the kind of highlights, just as we're talking about Harrison, is a big strike, 2 there from Derek. As the Big Sticks and the Squatch are both having to go through the same mid-season and into the regular season struggles, losing a couple of guys, having to get replacements, bringing them in, and just having to face through it. There's no excuses for either team. Everyone has lost a few guys and gained a few at the same time. It's just going to be a battle of who wants it the most at the end of the day. And the Squatch looking for something there, as that one is going to be blooped over into right field. Derek gets it to land, and 1 run will score. And as Austin Bunn is not favoring, seems to maybe have tweaked his ankle and was hopping off of one of them as he was rounding third base. We hope he is okay. But it is now a 9-4 ball game after Derek Calvillo gets one to drop into shallow right field. Trey Vorwald able to get to it in time. And now runners on the corners, still nobody out. So the first run allowed for Nathan tonight.
Yeah, when you alluded to it just a second ago, but summer ball is very interesting for many reasons, one of which is that the lineup changes daily, and the roster changes daily too. So I don't think I've ever been part of a team that has had so many new players added and other players lost throughout the season. It's been definitely a different experience than I'm used to.
Always fun for a change, isn't that right? The 9-4 lead for the Squatch. Nathan looking to keep it at 5 runs, but still has to get 3 more outs through the heart of the lineup. Gunnar Hansen, number 4 catching, is now up to bat. We'll see what he has to offer. Last night, Hansen had quite the night. 3 for 3 as a swing and a miss. Carr throws to second, and the tag in time. So Derek tried his luck and tried to steal second, but just a bit short of the track, as Ryan Bachman able to get the throw from Carr and apply the tag at the last second, and that is out number 1. So no more runner at first base, only a runner at third.
Great
and
play
1
by
out.
Davis. That's as a runner on first base. Goal is always to read.
And that one is going to get behind Derek once more.
Behind him.
And Nathan
And
charges
Davis.
the mound, or charges the plate, but not before Rogers easily crosses. It is now a 9-5 ball game, and the Big Six continue to hang around. As you said, neither team ever says die, and they are showing it right here. No matter the score, they are going to cut into the lead consistently.
And they get a run on that play, but that is a strikeout there for Nathan. So he's found his groove, it looks like. Hopefully he can keep this going. As I was saying, that was a great play by Davis. The run on first, reading dirt ball. Once he sees the ball hit the ground, he's taken off, betting that the catcher won't be able to pick it up and throw him out quickly. But Davis, just like Hunter and I were talking about, very athletic back there, very quick. So picks the ball up and gets the out at second.
And Davis right on line with that throw, and that one way inside. Great job from Carr to keep it in front of him again. A lot of balls in the dirt tonight for the Squatch pitching. Davis has done his job. So 1 out still. As Gunner readies and holds off on a ball outside of the zone. Last night, Hansen went 3 for 3 with an RBI and a walk, so he had himself quite the night batting in the 5 spot, and tonight he sees himself in the exact same area, batting 5th, and he is going to turn on one out towards Vorwald on the warning track. That was going to get over him and one hop the wall. So that, we are very thankful for that, as it will be a double and nothing off of it as it crossed over the right field wall, which makes the runners advance only to 2nd and 3rd.
Yep, just saved us a run there. So 2nd and 3rd though, 1 out. This is trouble here. We gotta get out of this inning win.
Calvillo would have, excuse me, not Calvillo. Let's see who we're looking at. The man on 3rd base right now. I believe it is. Oh yeah, it is Hansen. Okay, we're making sure. Hansen would have easily scored on that one as it was lifted over the head of Vorwald and right. And luckily for us, we caught a lucky break. 9-5 lead now still, and there's going to be a mound visit.
Looks like we got Griffin Sheeran entering the game that one.
All right, for the 2nd night in a row, Griff coming back out. But the first home appearance of the year for Nathan Leininger. Happy to see him out here tonight as he leaves in a 9-5 ball game. He surrendered 2 runs, but that is okay. It always seems to be sort of a rude introduction having to welcome in your first time at home against a team like the Big Sticks, you know?
Yeah, Big Sticks are a tough team to face, especially in an environment like this. I know it's at home, but a guy like Nathan coming out of high school probably hasn't ever pitched in front of a large crowd before like this.
And that makes it even more impressive for Brian Wren. You know, kind of someone coming in the same situation as Nathan. 6 innings, 10 hits, only 3 runs. Striking out 1 and walking 1 in the process. So now Griff on his 2nd night in a row out of the pen. We'll see how he fares. And he was a very underrated aspect of last night's victory. Talk about him as Griffin went 1 1/3 innings, only giving up 1 hit and striking out 4, including striking out the side in the 8th inning leading up to Dylan Ritchie finishing business in the 9th. So cannot say enough about Griff. He is one of the hardest throwers out of the pen. How fast does he throw, Wyatt, if you had to guess?
I imagine he's frequently at about 90, 91. Maybe he's hit at 93 here or there. Yeah, he throws hard. I mean, with Griffin and Dylan Ritchie coming out of the pen, it's just great to have guys that, no matter who the starter is, you're going to have guys that can come in and overpower the hitters. Even if we got a guy like Jack Hostetler starting, she's like 89, 90.
Right.
You know, ball just explodes out of Griffin's hand and even more so out of Ritchie's. So great to have them coming out of the pen.
So we're not going to take any sort of breaks here as Griff has been ready out of the pen for a little while now. And runners on 2nd and 3rd. We want to keep this a 4-run contest right now. The Big Sticks have been knocking on the door a little quietly, but still creeping their way back into this game. We'll see what Griff has to offer. As the Big Sticks bullpen still very busy tonight. 2 guys up and throwing. So Wyatt, what do you throw here if you're Griff? With runners on 2nd and 3rd, 1 out.
Well, if I could throw my fastball 93 miles an hour, I'd probably throw that over and over again when hit a spot here and there, and then maybe if I have to, drop in a breaking ball. But yeah, if I'm Griffin here, especially after last night's success with it, I'm just going a lot of fastballs.
So no double play in order, at least a traditional kind, as Sean D steps in and is quickly ahead 1-0. But we know that Griff can strike out plenty of batters. We'd love to see that happen right here. Fires what he knows, that fastball. And Sean D frozen right there. A 1-1 count. Really big spot here in the game, especially approaching the later innings. Want to keep this a 4-run game if you can. You never feel comfortable with your lead, or comfortable enough, excuse me, with the Big Sticks, as that one is going to get past. And luckily, Carr keeps it in front of him, even though he lost it for a second. Lands right next to the plate. And Griff with the backup, rushing to home plate. So the bottom third of the lineup, Sean D with Alex Thurston in the on-deck circle, followed by Alex Erlob. So Wyatt, what are you most excited for this week? If you had to look forward to something, there's a lot going on, whether it be actual games between the Big Sticks and the Squatch. We have 3 more to go after tonight, whether it be fireworks. What is it? What are you looking forward to end the regular season?
Well, Wayne, I'm looking forward to hanging out with my parents a little bit.
Y'all have any plans?
Before, huh?
Y'all have any plans?
Not that I'm aware of, but, maybe they've snuck in some plans secretly that I don't know about yet.
Oh, when you're in South Dakota, you got to make all the stops, you know?
Yes, you do, yes. But looking forward to that. Looking forward to Top Gun night on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, I was going to keep that one a secret for a while.
I'm so sorry.
Thanks, Wyatt, for spoiling the surprise. But Saturday night, right after Friday night fireworks the night before, we have Top Gun night, the last day of the regular season. As we mentioned, hopefully the Squatch are in the playoffs already after taking 2 more games from the Big Sticks in that time span. But we will be having a Top Gun themed night. It is going to be fun. After the release of Top Gun Maverick, the 2-2, that one is going to be lifted into left field. Gage Crott gets a good read on it, makes the catch, and the throw as the runner from third, Hansen, tags and crosses home plate. But that is okay. We will trade an out for a run in that situation. 9-6, still a 3-run lead. Runner on second base, 2 outs. And talking about championship teams, we talk so much about the offense and the pitching, but what about the defense that we have around us? Obviously, the departures of Johnny McHenry, Nicky Winterstein, other guys, Harrison Clark over at first base. Carson Green in center field, but you look to see Bryson Hoyer has replaced him perfectly, and
Gage
right and left.
Looking good over there and left, too.
So. Gage and Trey, respectively,
Trey's
holding
been
down.
all year in the outfield. He's been a constant, even with Nicky here and Carson. But Gage and Bryson just stepping up to fill those spots. So
holding down the sides of the outfield. And Bailey Bordas, can't say enough about him over at third base. And Gabe Springer, who's been shaded all over the outfield and the infield. Third base, left field, right field, now shortstop, has picked up the pieces. And then you look over at Ryan Bachman, who knows exactly what he's doing over at second. We have Keenan Manning over at first and can play catch. Or, not, he can't play catch, but he can catch as well. That was fun, the 1-0. Taken for strike 1. So everyone has been checking the divisional scoreboard as of right now, checking to see what the Spuds are doing, but as of right now, if the Squatch continue on their path right now and hopefully win game 2 of 5, we only have 1 more game to win against the Big Sticks and the rest of this homestand after tonight if we were to take game 2, and that would solidify us most likely as overall best record for first place in the second half, putting us in a Sunday night showdown back here at home between the Sticks and the Sasquatch once more. What's new? So now a 1-2 count for Griff, looking to retire the inning right here. 3 runs have crossed for the Sticks to this point in the 7th. He looks back over at second base. The pitch, bit upstairs.
Just up. That's a good one too there, out of the zone. Looking to get a chase there, but just a little too high.
So Thurston, who is locked in the count right now, from Fowler, Indiana, the right-handed hitter. He's batting .312 on the year, or excuse me, .279. Looking at Carson Lummark's stats, the point streak hasn't updated yet, as that one is going to be way up high on the infield. We'll see who calls it off. It's going to be Keenan O'Brien, makes the catch to eliminate the trouble and keep it a 3-run game as we head to the bottom of the 7th. But not before the Big Sticks score 3 of their own to close the gap. Squatch on top 9-6 as we head to the 7th inning stretch here on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon in Game 2.
In health, we keep going so you can keep going. With advanced orthopedic care, technology, innovations, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner.
Here in the bottom of the 7th, the kid from Belfouche, not too long from here whatsoever. Gage Crott steps in after the Big Sticks just pulled across 3 runs in the top of the inning. Squatch looking to push right back against the new pitcher on the mound for the Sticks, one of the guys who've been warming up for a while, Moses Dokes. A 6'4" righty out of the pen. For Badlands, the 1-0 now. Gage takes a big hack at that one, can't catch up to it for strike 1.
2 high fastballs, see if we can bring it down to the zone a little bit. Hopefully Gage can lay off those.
And Dokes working rather quickly. Seems to be one of the newer additions for the Big Sticks this season. This will be his 7th appearance of the season from Santa Barbara, California. So many West Coast guys coming out here to the Independence League this summer.
West Coast, Best Coast win.
Something like
Know
that.
what they say?
I don't know. I don't know what rhymes with East Coast, so.
I think it's say East Coast, Worst Coast.
East Coast, worst, that's close. 1-2. Fouled
Good.
out
East
of play.
Coast is a great place, including the south of the East Coast.
Thank you so much. Shout out to the state of Georgia.
The great state of Georgia.
But I see why everyone flocks out here during the summer. South Dakota's been so fun.
Yes, it has.
I'm sure the same for North Dakota. For the Big Sticks, the 1-2 from Dokes. And the breaking ball that doesn't break too much. A little high at the zone. So as we mentioned, a very gutsy series for both teams as they are going to have to really go and trust on their arms the entire series. Both bullpens have already used a lot of arms so far this series in games 1 and 2.
That's right, Win. I mean,
3 more games to play.
Yesterday it was Connor Jones for 3, then me for 3 and 2 thirds, and then Griffin only had to go 1 1/3 as he's back out tonight. So that's a great turnaround for him. And Dylan Ritchie with his usual shutout 1 inning to close the game for us.
As Gage puts it in play, a simple grounder, but off the glove of the second baseman. He recovers and makes the throw over to first in time. So that'll take care of Gage for the first out of the night for Dokes as Trey Vorwald steps in. So looking back at game 1, both bullpens have been to look in for the Squatch. 3 innings from Connor Jones, followed by 3 2/3 from Wyatt. 1 1/3 from Griffin Sheeran, followed by the lockdown 9th from Dylan Ritchie. And then headed over to the Bull Sticks side of things. Or the Bull Sticks, that's their new name. I was The Big Sticks bullpen. I'm all over the place tonight. So 3 innings from Jonathan Lerma, followed by 4 innings of effective relief from Logan Fragamini, and then 1 inning to close things down from Gifford. But luckily for the Sasquatch, the only run that Gifford surrendered was eventually the tie-breaking one in the bottom of the 8th. That gave the Squatch the 7-6 lead in the Game 1 victory.
And 3 arms used for the Big Sticks and 4 for us, but effectively 2 for each team, as the last people to pitch only threw 1 inning. So,
exactly.
like I said before, Griffin's back. Richie could be back tonight if we need him. I doubt we'd use him, as he only has 1 inning left on his inning limit for the summer. But yeah, lots of pitchers used, but only 4 burned in total.
And that really just speaks to the importance of the middle relief pitchers for both teams. You being able to come in 3 2/3 Fragamini for 4 last night, both of you getting the job done and keeping each team in the game respectively. And when both of you left, it was still a tight affair. As that one was going to be hit into shallow right, and that one will be caught by the right fielder Carson Lundmark for out number 2. So Crott and Vorwald retired back-to-back. That brings up David Dielman. So we always talk about the pretty much everyday starters outside of a couple of days here and there. We forget to talk about guys who are new to the team. David Dielman doing plenty for the Sasquatch right now after coming in alongside Rin and Nathan. He has been great, as has Ryan Doran, who had the game-winning single last night.
It's got to be great to be here for David and Nathan, as they're neighbors and they grew up together. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if you touched on that before, but.
Did not know that.
Went
Thank you for the analysis.
Together, grew up as neighbors. They're lifelong friends. So come out here with somebody like that, it's got to be a great experience for both of them.
That is awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're going to be rejoined by the Guitar Hero champion himself, Hunter Pauley.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing?
Hunter Pauley back in the booth for some more fun. He got bored down on the field, decided to transport back up to the booth once more. So how are you not entertained on this broadcast? Somehow, some way, we have so many things going on at once, including a very exciting game too. Dielman gets a piece of it, fouls it behind us in the booth, and out towards the parking lot.
This is really exciting, Win.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff so far.
Hunter, I'm so glad you're back, because you talked about fish earlier, but you didn't tell us what kind of fish you've been catching.
Oh, yes. You know, they don't have a lot of tuna here, so I've been catching a lot of trout, like brook trout, brown trout, rainbow trout, other types of trout, all the trout.
That's great. That's great, Hunter.
Thank you. Really quick, I'd really like to give a shout out to my grandma and my sister back home. Love you guys.
Oh, that's so sweet, Hunter. Always
very sweet, Hunter.
The shout outs to the family. You gotta love that, as so many other Spearfish players love to do. And that one was just off the edge of the plate. Doak smiles that one off. He thought he had a strike 3 there. Looked good from up here, but maybe just a bit outside. So Dielman, another shot here as the count runs full. 2 outs, nobody on base. The payoff pitch. That one is going to be a chopper over to the second baseman, off the glove of Sean D into the outfield. Dielman
almost falls around first base. He's got to be careful. I think somebody left an oil slick out there.
He was excited. He wanted to keep turning.
That thing looked like it had teeth when the way it just jumped up and bit him right in the glove.
It just ate him right up.
It is not easy playing at this field the last few days. We saw it against the Casper series when they came to town. Plenty of little divots in the outfield, it just seems, makes the ball go all different directions, especially on the infield as well. We just saw it with Sean D. Looked to be a routine grounder and a throw to first. Not the case.
Yeah, this Squatch infield grass is extremely unforgiving. When there's nothing worse as a pitcher than thinking you've got a routine ground ball out to end the inning, and then all of a sudden the ball's 10 feet in the air off the lip. So really tough.
And you feel bad for our scoreboard people, as that one is going to be lifted out towards center field. And Jake Brill able to call it off to retire the side. But I was saying, you have to feel bad for the scoreboard people, always having to figure out whether it's an error or should be a hit, because the infield and the outfield are all over the place.
Yeah, in other news, Win, I think Keenan is really preparing for the winter here. That's his second broken bat. He's really just stocking up on the firewood.
Yeah, he is not too happy right now, Wyatt.
Hey, well, he should be. He is still a 2 for 4 night, or excuse me, as of right now, We'll see where he is. Point streak is down, but he still has 2 hits on the night, so we can't be too harsh on him. Keenan's having himself a night as
he's
headed
very, very hot at the moment, but he's also wants to stay hot later too.
So headed to the top of the 8th. Squatch still up by 3. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Walk through life. Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day. And everything's going your way. And you wanna make it last forever. We'll keep it together 'cause it keeps getting better. Hey, it keeps getting better.
Back here in the top of the 8th inning, we are moving right along. It has been a fun one so far, 9:10 p.m. Mountain Time, and Griffin Sheeran looking to keep this a 3-run game. The Big Sticks clawed their way back in the top of the 7th, 3 runs of their own, and you never know what can happen between these two teams. Lots of rivalry, lots of times already played each other. This will be the 11th matchup of the season.
Yeah, you know, when we were talking about how that grass out there is just so fast, I tell you what, it's faster. And when that ball hits, it's just faster than grease lightning out there. When it hits and skips, you really just got to be on your toes and not on your heels, because if you're on your heels, it's going to go right by you. So you really got to try and be on your toes.
That was amazing analysis from our color/starting pitcher and one of the starting pitchers in our rotation, Hunter Pauly, as he has been parading around the stadium tonight, trying to figure out where he wants to land, and he is hanging out with me and Wyatt Adams in the booth.
Really been a sojourner tonight, you could say.
A 3-1 count from Griff, and that one is going to be a leadoff walk.
Yeah, you know, when I've always been told I have a face for radio, and I'm just really letting that, really just exploring that today, because you know what, it's exactly right, I do, and I'm just enjoying my time up here with you two. You guys are great people, and this is amazing.
Oh, well,
Now, Hunter, I don't know if I'd take that as a compliment if I were you. If I got told I'd have a face for radio, you know, you don't see your face when you're talking on the radio. So
that's the joke, Wyatt.
Well, but
sorry, Hunter.
Doggone it, you can really look good while you're doing it.
That's right. Well, maybe we'll have to bring the camera in here so we can just show off that face, Hunter.
So a 9-6 ball game, runner on first base, nobody out. Griff is looking to take care of the top of the lineup once more. Jake Brill takes a big cut on that one, strike one.
There, huh?
Yeah, what a cut.
Big hack.
6 runs, 12 hits.
It's like a lumberjack up there.
For the Big
Sticks.
Sticks.
You know, I wonder if they're named this the Big Sticks. Are they actually swinging bigger sticks than everybody else? That's my question.
I don't really know what does that question insinuate?
Teddy Roosevelt connection, if I had to guess.
Are their bats bigger than ours?
Maybe they are.
We'll have to see. Game 2 probably will come down to the wire, as we always expect between the two teams. It is a close one still tonight. Only a 3-run lead for the Squatch. We're looking to hold on to it here in the late innings. So Griff, an 0-2 count now, quickly ahead of Brill. We'll see what he goes with here. The pitch, low and in the dirt. Great job from Carr.
Another athletic block from Davis Carr.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you know, Davis just took probably an 89 to 91 mile an hour fastball off his forearm, and I guarantee you that's not feeling very good right now. So kudos to Davis.
Yeah, a guy like Davis is just used to getting beat up back there. Something about him. Catches a lot of balls in places that you don't want to get hit by them.
So a 1-2 count now from Griff. The pitch now to Brill. That one is going to be lifted high. Should be playable for Trey Vorwald. It is. He gets right under it for out number 1. So Jake Brill retired, brings up Austin Bunn as we are approaching the 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Sticks here in the 8th.
I'd like to give a shout out right now to all of our live viewers on YouTube. Guys, if you're enjoying this show and if you'd like to hear Hunter Pauly talk about fish some more, why don't you drop that in the comments section for us?
I could really elaborate on where I'm from and how we like to fish for the fish back where I'm from.
We've had Hunter and Wyatt in the both. We've had Wyatt and Hunter in the booth both this season so far. We've heard plenty about their background, but this time Hunter wants to talk about his fishing habits and where he fishes. So.
Well, Win, I think we'll wait. We'll see if we get some comments. Maybe the people don't want to hear about fish anymore. So
there's a chance.
I don't think it's a habit, Win. I think it's a hobby. So if you don't be so.
I feel like if I had to characterize it, I would say it's a passion.
It's a lifestyle.
You know what? I think you're exactly right, and I think it was very insensitive the way he called it a
habit. Did you say habit?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not a very serious term to use for such a serious passion that you have for the sport of fishing, such as you do.
1-0 count now from Griff. Back into it. 2 balls, no strikes.
But you know, when I really appreciate you, and I would never do anything to hurt your feelings. So I thank you.
Oh, thank you, Hunter. I appreciate it.
Maybe you guys can settle this beef over some fly fishing.
Maybe
I totally
so.
agree. We can go for some brown trout, brook trout, rainbow trout, any type of trout you want.
Any type of trout, says Hunter Pauly.
All right, let's hold off on the fishing until we get the approval from our live viewers.
That was a pick off to first base, and he was back there safely.
Thank you, Hunter.
Why want you to?
So a huge game 2 tonight. The most important game as each game becomes more important day after day. Griff with 1 out.
Another
fires back to first.
Placed it right on the ribs there. Good thing Keenan caught that because that would have been a stinger there for the run on first.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is like when the MLB comes down to like games 161, 162. This is kind of what this series is like for us right now in a sense.
Absolutely. You know, about 55 games played before the playoffs even come into question. Maybe a few more than that.
So looks like we're getting a few comments from the Mortensen clan. Hunter wants to know, or excuse me, Hunter. Clark wants to know where you fish at.
You know, any body of water, anything I can throw a fly out there, and you know, if there's water, there's fish. If there's fish, there's water. You know, they go hand in hand. You have to have both of them to have one of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's very true. Do you have any specific spots or are they secret fishing holes? And also, well, let's finish that conversation. We got another question after that.
Okay. Specific spots, you know, anywhere in the canyon, anywhere in the creek, canyon, creek, you're golden.
Yeah, all right. And are you a catch and release guy, or do you cook them and eat them?
Oh, absolutely. Catch and release. That's the way to go here. I don't want to harm any fish. Unless I'm catching a big salmon, then we're going to fry them up.
So yeah, the salmon are just great back home in Washington, but I don't think there's a lot of them out here.
Oh, no, there's none.
Yeah, so catch and release there. Yeah, great, Hunter.
Great pitch by Griffin Sheeran right there. Slider on the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, so much discussion about the sport of fishing, we forgot there was another sport going on right in front of us. A 2-2 count now. Griff looking to try his luck against Austin Bunn. Jake Brill just flew out a few minutes ago. He is 0 for 5 on the night.
You know, we talk about fly fishing, Hunter. I can't talk about fly fishing without mentioning a great movie called A River Runs Through It. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
Absolutely, I have not seen that movie.
Elaborate, Wyatt.
I'm pretty sure it's made out of Montana, somewhere around the Kootenai River.
I believe it's set in Missoula, Montana. It's a great movie about family and the troubles of growing up and just the trials and.
Why you
Sounds
you're such a
seriously
sensitive
life-changing.
soul. It sounds like you've really been shaped by
That
this
looks
movie.
like a walk right there for Griffin Shear, and that's going to put bring up number 14. Win, you can take it away from here.
Good call, Hunter. Great job as we have who appears to be Dylan Ritchie in the pen. Getting a little warm-ups in here and there, throwing around. So still a 3-run game, but now bases are runners on first and second, and now the tying run coming up to home plate in none other than Daniel Rogers.
You know, when speaking of movies here, there's been a lot of talk of Harry Potter in the dugout lately between me and Brian Wren and Jack Hosteller, so that's just been a highlight of the week so far for me.
Well, that's nice to know. Would you like to elaborate on the discussion there of what maybe y'all were talking
Well,
about?
we were doing some player comparisons to different characters in the movie. I believe Ryan Bachman would be equivalent to a Neville Longbottom type. I don't know if you're familiar with the series or not.
I'm very familiar with the series.
That's right,
Ryan would not be happy to hear that.
Neville Longbottom got the Sword of Gryffindor win. I think that's a great.
He did. Neville really comes around at the end.
He does. So similarly to how, I mean, Ryan's been there for us the whole year, but he's really coming in clutch at the end. It's almost as if he's winning the fight with the Sword of Gryffindor.
Well, I don't know how we can compare it. Ryan's been clutch for us all season.
That's right. Let's see. Another great comparison. I think we had Colby Schiffer as a Draco Malfoy type.
Ooh. Colby's such a nice guy. Where'd you get that
nice.
from?
He's got a little dark side to him, and it's just the hair, I think.
Well, I didn't think that Draco Malfoy had that sort of hair either.
He's got that middle part going. It just looks sinister, you know.
I see. Big cut there from Rogers for strike one. So Griff now, a little bit of traffic here. Runners on first and second, still only one out. A nice double play here would be ideal.
That's right. Double play, get us out of the inning. That'd be great.
But Griff really relying on that fastball, as many fastball pitchers do. Work up a few full counts here and there.
That's right, Win.
And rely on blowing it right past him. And that one is going to be lifted into shallow left. That one's going to drop, and they're going to wave the runner around from second all the way home. And the throw from left is not in time as he races back to second, but not before a runner crosses. It is now a 9-7 ball game. So, folks, what I've been saying the entire time, it is no surprise. This was to be expected at some point. The Big Sticks will fire their way back into a deficit. They are not afraid, and now the potential leading run steps in with Derek Calvillo. This is the biggest point in tonight's ball game. As we said, the Squatch have not scored since 2 in the 6th. And now the Big Sticks putting up 4 in the last 2 innings. And still threatening here with the power bat of Calvillo.
Yeah, Win, this is a huge point, but all this Harry Potter talk's got me wondering if we've got any Harry Potter fans on the live stream. So you guys could go ahead and drop your favorite character from that series if you want. And also, I'd like to say that we gave Coach Jared Hunt the Severus Snape comparison.
Ooh.
Simply because he's that strong, quiet type of leader.
I'll say it's because he doesn't talk, is it? I mean, he doesn't say too many. He's a man of
he says
very
what's
few
necessary.
words. Yeah.
He says what's necessary, and he goes out there. He's got our backs, you know. Similar to in the movies, Harry didn't know it the whole time, but Snape was there for him. So
I really look at myself as a Dumbledore or a Hagrid, to be completely honest. I'm just a big guy that likes to be heard and like get his point across.
The ever insightful Hunter Pauly comparing himself to Albus Dumbledore
and Hagrid in the same sentence. 2 wildly different characters.
As much as I love the Harry Potter talk, we're going to have to interrupt you for just a few minutes. We are in a very critical situation in this game. It is a 9-7 ball game. The Big Sticks have tallied 13 hits. And Derek Calvillo.
So, Hunter, I got to ask, what's your favorite Harry Potter movie?
Mine is probably Harry Potter and the Rolling Stones.
That is not a movie, Hunter. All right.
I don't think I've seen that one. My favorite is definitely, I think it's The Goblet of Fire, you know. Just a classic film.
It's the most exciting for sure.
Harry Potter, The Chamber of Lies, or one of those that just really rolls off the tongue.
The Chamber of Secrets. That is the second one in
that's the one that
the
you're
series.
To,
that must be the one, Hunter.
Lynn, what about you? What's your favorite Harry Potter film?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to say probably Goblet of Fire as well.
Goblet
What's going on in that one?
Nice, dude.
So here we are, a 1-2 count. Wyatt and Hunter Pauly talking about Harry Potter.
Gosh, that was a real heartbreaker, though, when Cedric Diggory died.
So
yeah, I'm
1 ball, 2 strikes. Hold on, Hunter. We're in a very important part in this game. The pitch, swing and a miss.
Strike 3, look at that.
Takes care of one of the
That
most dangerous
fastball
hitters.
looked like it was cast out of a wand the way it was moving.
Yeah, that looked like the radar gun said 102 on that one.
So
That was magical.
takes care of, Derek Calvillo.
That's right.
Here in the 8th inning. A huge hitter in this Big Sticks lineup taken care of, as now Gunnar Hansen, the final hope to keep the inning going, as Griffin Sheeran does exactly what he does all the time, blowing it right past him, relying on that velocity. So and now 2 outs as he prepares the pitch to Hansen. Bit outside, ball 1. So a lot going on here in the booth between this exciting game, and it appears that Dylan Ritchie will be ready to come out of the pen whenever, as this will be apparently, I'm guessing, his last inning as a Sasquatch.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
this is
sentimental.
His last available. You know, Dylan is a phenomenal guy, but just for the way that he treats the opposing batters, we've got to give him the Lord Voldemort comparison.
Oh, okay.
He is relentless with his velocity, with the way he comes at hitters, and total Voldemort comparison money-wise.
Yeah, he just really cuts down these batters just how Lord Voldemort cut down Lily and James Potter way back in the day.
Wow, that was pretty bold of you. The 2-0 from Griff, taken upstairs, ball 3. So now a ball away from potentially loading the bases. Do not want that to happen with Carson Lundmark on deck. Carson's been relatively quiet tonight, but we know that that is not usually the case when he faces off against the Sasquatch pitching.
Yeah, look, I think Griffin's trying to throw a strike here to get into the zone, make it 3-1.
Yeah,
I would have to agree.
That's what I'd be doing if I were up there right now.
So 3 balls, no strikes. I'm losing my mind in the booth. The pitch taken upstairs, a 4-pitch walk.
So I think this just came to me, and I don't want you to take offense from this, but I feel like if I had to give you a character comparison, it would be Dudley Dursley.
Thank you so much, Wyatt.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're going to be making a call to the bullpen, bringing in Dylan, the heat thrower Ritchie.
So Dylan Ritchie.
He who shall not be named.
Dylan Ritchie entering on the mound for potentially his final inning in a Sasquatch uniform. He is officially entered, as Griffin Sheeran is going to be done for the night after a little over an inning. He has been great, but that'll be the end of the line for him. He leaves with bases loaded and 2 outs, and now leaving it up to Dylan Ritchie. Coach Jarrett Hunt not letting Griffin stay out there any longer, wanting Dylan to take care of business for the most important out tonight. A double here could tie it.
You know, when another comparison just came to me.
Oh,
this home
really?
plate umpire reminds me a lot of Mad Eye Moody, the way his eyes just dart all over the place, you know.
Wow.
Seems to have a little bit of trouble seeing the ball sometimes, but he's doing his best, so.
Harsh call.
And that's not a slight to him. I know it's very hard to be an umpire. So, all due respect.
You know, when I think I'm going a little different street here than White. I think my comparison for you would be that white owl that Harry Potter has, just because you got
Cedric?
a good set of eyes on you. You're nice.
Hedwig?
I believe you're referring to Hedwig.
It's Hedwig. Yeah, that's right.
Hedwig. I forgot his name. I was gonna say Harvard, but yeah, no. You like to spread your wings and fly and just be a social butterfly. So I love it. You know, Win, you're a great guy, and
this is inspirational. We're headed to a break for 1 second as Dylan Ritchie warms up on the mound. We'll be right back between the Harry Potter comparisons and a 2-run ball game. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Bases loaded, but Squatch up by 2. Welcome back here to Bases Loaded in the top of the 8th inning. Dylan Ritchie out on the mound for his final appearance out of the pen for the Squatch. He's needed a little earlier than usual against a very important hitter in Carson Lundmark. He has been absolutely tearing it up against the Sasquatch throughout the season, and in a very critical moment here, we hope he does not repeat some of that same success from earlier on. And we will see what's going on here. Still a 2-run ball game. Squatch need this game badly. Would be huge to take the first 2 of 5 as we are trying to push ourselves into playoff contention, as game 1 will be on Sunday afternoon here at home against the Big Sticks, if that is in the cards.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Win Andrews has just used a silent spell on me and Wyatt.
Yes, you are silent until the 9th, as we are in a very critical point as of right now. We've had plenty of fun with fishing and Harry Potter, but now we face the biggest out of the night. The 0-1 from Ritchie, that one is going to be fouled into the Big Sticks bullpen again. So we talked about how much Lundmark has been killing the Sasquatch this season, but he has his hands full, his work cut out for him. Already behind an 0-2 to Ritchie on the mound, who just throws 90-plus heaters left and right. That is his primary pitch. He relies on it wholeheartedly. The pitch way upstairs, gets past Davis Carr, and he gets to it quickly. So Austin Bunn over at third base has to run back. Thought about potentially coming home for a second, and smartly decides not to. Count runs 1-2.
This is a fun matchup win. This is right here best on best. Our best arm versus their best arm. So this is fun to watch.
So here we are. Ritchie from South Dakota State University and a 1-2 count to preserve this 2-run lead. Can he do it? He can! A 2-run lead preserved as Dylan Ritchie strikes out Carson Lundmark for the final out of the 8th inning. We head to the bottom of the inning, still up by 2. The Big Sticks pull across 1, but that is all they can do. Dylan Ritchie does his job, blows it right past him per usual. Heading to the bottom of the 8th, still up by 2. You are watching Squatch Baseball on our YouTube live stream. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Big Sticks just put across a run of their own. Time for the Squatch to do something similar. Davis Carr batting 9th tonight as the 9-1-2 hitters are up. Steps back as that ball is way inside. Moses Dokes back out for another inning of relief.
I'd like to give another shout out to the live audience. When 135 viewers, we're just loving the comments that are rolling in. So shout out to you guys, all you fans. And all this talk of fishing in Harry Potter, I'd want to talk about this for a while. I can't be the only one that was disappointed there was no fishing scene in Harry Potter.
I totally agree. I thought for a little bit there should have been at least something. There's a lot of rivers, you know. Like I said, when there's rivers, there's fish. When there's fish, there's rivers.
So the 1-1 Carr showing bunt, and that one will be called strike 2. So
yeah, that's right, Hunter.
I don't really know. I feel like, the Harry Potter movies are already 180 minutes each, so I don't know how much the fishing scene would really push the
they could have just thrown
runtime.
us a bone, all us fishing fans. They got to know that we make up a large part of the Harry Potter fan base. So
something like that. The
would've been great to
1-2 way inside. We'll see if that hit
It really
Carr.
would have just made my day to read or watch about Harry catching a nice salmon in right outside of Hogwarts.
J.K. Rowlings needs to really
Rawlings?
get it together.
Okay. The 2-2. I'm Win Andrews, voice of the Squatch, joined by Wyatt Adams and Hunter Polly with some very interesting commentary tonight in the biggest game of the season. As it is a 2-2 count. The pitch over the head of Carr. Breaking ball that did not break. And Carr didn't even flinch.
Like we said earlier, Davis is a meat shield back there. He's been hit by harder things, so I don't think he's I think he's ready to get a hit right here.
Full count, the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss takes care of Davis Carr. On the big hack there, can't catch up to it. And that was a great pitch there from Dokes. Fired on the outside edge of the plate. Carr can't catch up to it. That brings up the top of the lineup once more. Bryson Hoyer followed by Gabe Springer. We will have the stats for you hopefully at some point. We can pull them up tomorrow, but as of right now, all of our stats are down.
Bryson
figure
has
out what
been
that's about.
absolutely red hot lately, just like the color of Ron Weasley's hair when.
Ooh, good comparison there, Wyatt. The 1-out pitch gets past the catcher.
6-ball 1 there. That one is in the dirt. I don't think even a goblin banker from Harry Potter could have got to that one win.
No, absolutely not.
What does that actually mean, though? Like, I don't understand.
The bankers are really short, you know.
Oh, I mean.
That one
yes.
was in the dirt. I don't even think they could have got that, even with how low to the ground they are.
Okay. Makes more sense
And
now.
that one was up. Maybe Hagrid could have got to that one.
You know, we're looking for another Bryson Hoyer leadoff bomb right here, so Squatch fans, get your hands together for him.
That would be phenomenal.
So everyone on the live stream clapping their hands collectively. That one is out of play, foul. And oh, goodness gracious, hope everyone is okay. Right next to the Sasquatch home dugout. Bounced right off of it. Everyone seems to be okay. Count runs 2-1 for Bryson.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you come to the ballpark, make sure you're bringing your gloves. You can make some good catches out there, even if you're in the crowd.
That is a great reminder, Hunter, as we are in the last few games of the regular season.
And you can earn yourself some Squatch bucks to buy some phenomenal Samson blueberry ice cream that we've been enjoying here for the past inning or so.
Absolutely. High fly ball right off the end of the bat. And right next to the right field line behind first base. Second baseman calls it off for out number 2. Bryson pops out. And that brings up that brings up Gabe for the final out here in the 8th. Expect to see Dylan Ritchie as the bullpen is completely empty for the Squatch coming out in the 9th.
You know, the greatest part about this is Bryson last night had a rough night. Just wasn't seeing the ball very well, and comes out here tonight and gets 2 hits and really helps us out. So it's just the beauty of the game.
3 hits, actually, 3 for 4.
Really is a beautiful game, isn't it, Hunter?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I love this game.
So the 0-1 now to Gabe. Would be nice to see Gabe really turn on one for this series. He's yet to do so.
Looks like pitchers are starting to attack him with a lot of change-ups. He's just out in front of that one. You know, it's always a good plan against lefties, especially those that are on time for your fastball.
So now, as Dokes is quickly ahead 0-2. Springer looking to stay in the count. The pitch outside. So now 9:38. Now 3 hours into play. And for all the action that has gone along, these last two games have been relatively quick compared to other games we've seen this season. Outside, Springer now even at 2 in the count. Looking to fight back completely. 13 hits for the Big Sticks, 11 for the Squatch. So while the Big Sticks have more hits as a team, the Squatch have been better about situational hitting. And that one bounces in the dirt right before the plate.
54-footer right there.
So now the payoff pitch. Nobody on base. Springer looking to keep the inning going. We'll see what he throws. The pitch. And that finds the inner edge of the plate. Gabe Springer not sure about that one. But either way, Moses Dokes gets out of the inning.
That is a tough strike 3 call for Gabe. So
1, 2, 3.
Dylan can shut the door right here and we can secure the win.
We hope so. In just a few minutes, we will see what he can do. A 2-run lead. And Dylan Ritchie has dealt with much less than that. So we feel good about our chances headed to the top of the 9th inning. It all comes down to this in game 2. We will see what happens in just a few moments. 9-7 ball game. Squatch still lead.
All Balanced Bookkeeping, located right here in Spearfish, is your go-to place for all of your bookkeeping needs. Serving Spearfish for over 2 years, we have over 30 years of bookkeeping experience and can take care of any office tasks, large or small. Contact us now to get in touch with one of our many experienced bookkeepers.
For summer at the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City. Trade-in values are at an all-time high, and there's never been a better time to buy. With over 400 vehicles on location, you're guaranteed to find the right ride to take you into summer. And while you're here, make sure to sign up to win some great summer gear, like a Rice Honda side-by-side, Black Hills Fireplace Traeger Smoker, a variety of gift certificates, and more. Come by and check out a great selection of vehicles and summer gear at any of the Denny Menhold dealerships in Rapid City and at menholdsummer.com.
So 3 more outs here in the top of the 9th inning. The bottom third of the Big Sticks lineup due up. Starting off with Sean D. batting 7th. And Dylan Ritchie closed out the 9th last night in a 1-run ball game. Now he has 2 runs to work with. We hope he repeats that success from game 1.
That was just paint there on the outside corner from Ritchie. Just throws it hard and throws it where he wants it. That's just outstanding.
The 1-1, and that one is going to be grounded foul up third base line. Count quickly runs 1-2, as we still have plenty of the home crowd with us tonight. They are cheering on their Sasquatch to a Game 2 win. That means if we were to win Game 2 tonight, if the Big Sticks do not bar any sort of comeback, then we will potentially be 1 win away in this series from reaching the playoffs and having sole record of first place. Yes, that's it. As that one's going to be lined straight to Ryan Bachman. Moves a little to his left and able to make the catch for out number 1. A lot of soft contact. You either get a lot of strikeouts or a lot of soft contact from Ritchie. Not
That's
many hard hit balls.
Yep. Very hard to square up that fastball when it's coming in so fast, and he can just fool you with the off speed just like that. So.
Yeah, he throws a really fast fastball, and I think it's really hard for these hitters to be on time for it, especially when it's got that 2-seam movement that goes into a right-handed hitter. And
as that ball's taken low, Dylan Ritchie he just goes at people inside and is really good at breaking their bats.
So Alex Thurston now due up with 1 out, and Dylan quickly behind 2-0. Dylan just a few minutes ago came in with bases loaded and 2 outs and struck out Carson Lundmark, who is batting 6th tonight for the Big Sticks, one of their best hitters arguably, in a huge spot, the biggest of the night, to keep it a 2-run game. It was getting rather scary for a little bit.
Finds that outside spot again. That's just right on the corner. Davis doesn't have to move his glove to catch that one. That's great.
And as you can see, if you get that back ankle, you can just see that ball two-seam back into that right-handed hitter.
So now that one low and away off the plate, as Dylan owns a 2.58 ERA. He has been in sole possession pretty much of owning the 9th innings in close games. He has been the primary closer. Count runs full now on Alex Thurston. Looking at Dylan coming into tonight, 33 strikeouts and only 8 walks to his name, allowing only 7 earned runs through the course of 24 1/3 innings. That's pretty impressive, as that one is lifted, fell out of play. So a 3-2 still to Alex Thurston. And the other Alex on deck, Alex Erlob, the third baseman. You do not want to see the lineup card roll over. Want to take care of business 7, 8, 9 if you can. Don't want to see Jake Brill again. He's due before too long. That one's fouled back against the netting. So the battle continues.
Yeah, phenomenal at bat. He's not really catching up to the fastball, but he's doing just enough to foul these back and force Dylan to keep throwing more pitches.
Toughest part as a pitcher when you throw one and then it fouls it off and it's your best pitch.
And that one way inside. Dylan loses him, and that is going to be a 1-out walk as the tying run comes up in Alex Erlob.
Well, 1 pitch away here. We've been solid defensively all night. Hopefully that doesn't change if we get an opportunity for a double play ball.
Cannot complain. No errors for the Sasquatch to this point. But pending a double play, if that were in the cards, the Squatch would have to face Jake Brill. Either way, if that double play does not happen. But we don't mind seeing a grounder from Erlob here to set things up for the Squatch to take game 2. The pitch low, and that one's going to get past Carr right behind him. And Alex Thurston easily able to take second base. Jogged around and is now standing over on the second base bag. So now as he is in scoring position, that changes things. It automatically takes us out of the double play scenario and now puts Thurston in scoring position with Jake Brill on deck. But Ritchie's dealt in many of these nerve-wracking situations. The 1-0. That one is going to be lined softly into right field. That one's going to drop. Trey Vorwald is going to take care of it and makes the throw back to the first baseman, O'Brien. But now runners on the corners, and the lineup does roll over. So not the scenario you want to see. The Big Sticks are knocking on the door here late. The
Not
top
the
of the
worst
ninth.
case, though. Double place ball still in action here, and no run has scored there. So maybe I was right before he threw that pitch. I was going to say you might change your approach to pitching that batter right there with the runner on second. Don't want to give up a hit that scores a run there, and you got an open base on first. So if he could have lived out and maybe pitched around him a little bit, that could have played. But either way, still living in the zone, still throwing a lot of strikes. So all he has to do is get a ground ball here.
That one low for ball 1. And Dylan, as we said, knows exactly how it feels to be in this situation. He's pitched against the Big Sticks plenty.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dusk, and Dylan Ritchie we trust. That's all I have to say.
The 1-0. That one is inside and low, ball 2. So now Ritchie just lost his hat. You do not see any sort of lost composure on Ritchie, hardly at all. And so
very stoic up there.
This is a bit of an unfamiliar situation than Dylan Ritchie has faced as of late. He has been absolutely on fire, on a tear on the mound, and obviously Ryan Bachman sees what's going on. Scheduled a quick mound visit, going to talk it over between Carr and Ritchie now. Try to strategize against Brill. We mentioned he's 0 for 5 tonight, but a great bat in the Big Sticks lineup. You do not want him to catch fire at any point.
Veteran move there by Ryan Bachman. That's really smart. Really classy. Just go, hey, Dylan, you're all right. Just take a quick breath. You're good, brother.
Just give him a chance to catch his breath and get reset, and now he's dialed back in to keep going.
So now Jake Brill with Austin Bunn on deck. A 2-0 count. Richie fires. That one
Just
slow
low.
as well. The Big Sticks dugout really starting to get into it now. And this is right on cue. We expected this. This happens many a times, whether it be the Sasquatch or the Big Sticks. One of the teams will always find a way to make things interesting in the later innings. Late in tonight's game, top of the ninth, that's exactly what the Big Sticks are doing. That was going to be grounded off the glove of Keenan O'Brien. He's going to try to turn one. He will make the throw to second in time. Springer gets the force out over there for 2 outs. So, man.
We didn't get 2 there, but that was a great play. That getting the lead runner there at second is huge because now there's only 1 runner in scoring position, and a single does not tie the game here. So, and we got to play it first and second here.
So great job from Keenan to be able to recover and make the throw over in time. It was a very testy play, if you will.
You can move your outfielders back here, playing no doubles, nothing behind them, to where, like what Wyatt just said, that runner from first cannot score.
So hopefully the final batter of the night, Austin Bunn, who already has a few hits to add to his night, with 2 outs and runners on the corners once more. He is going to pull that one, yank it way foul,
and win.
but way far. You headed out
It's been
wide?
a pleasure. Hunter and I have to go because if this game ends right here with this batter, we got to be ready to go pick up Dylan Ritchie for the close.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, and Andrews and Sasquatch fans. Appreciate it.
We
Yes,
hope that
thank
we
you,
hope y'all are
Sasquatch
able to
fans.
pick up Richie. So
Thank you, Win. It's been a great day today. So thank you.
glad y'all had fun in the booth as Wyatt Adams and Hunter Pauly log off as they are headed back down to the field. A lot of interesting commentary and a very interesting game. An 0-1 count. Still runners on first and third, 2 outs. Richie now firing to Bunn. Called strike 2, 1 strike away. What a fun rivalry it has been between these two teams, back and forth seemingly all season. Big Sticks took 5 of 6 early in the season for the first 2 series of the year. The Squatch fired back with a series win to start the second half of play. Now the Squatch are looking to take 2 games to start this series, but that one is going to hit Austin Bunn. And he will take first base. It seemed like Richie was going with something else there, tried to pull the string. Did not go with the fastball, but way inside. So Austin Bunn now takes first base, and now they are juiced for Daniel Rogers. The inning continues. Man, oh man, it is getting a bit too close for comfort here in the 9th inning. And it looks like there is going to be a pinch hitter now to replace Daniel Rogers. That's surprising. We'll see who it is. It is going to be Jaden Singleton in the biggest at-bat of, I'm sure, his past few weeks. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and he is fresh up at the plate. His first at-bat of the night against a man like Richie on the mound. A big ask from the Big Sticks, but obviously shows the trust they have in the player that Jaden is. So a very important part here. He is going to foul that one off. Way foul. Singleton from Des Moines, Iowa. Through 20 games played, only batting .173 so far. This would be the biggest hit, I am sure, of his season. It all comes down to this. Big Sticks threatening late, knocking on the door. The 1-1 from Dylan now. That one is going to be grounded right past Ryan Bachman, but he makes a diving grab and he throws to first in time! And that is going to do it tonight. Ryan Bachman makes a diving play over to his left. And let's see what just happened here, as they are going to be caught in a rundown. What in the world just happened here? Not sure what's going on. I think the umps are going to talk things over. That would be out number 3. And that is going to be the end of the game. So Keenan O'Brien, I guess, kept his foot on the bag. But what an electric finish, as the Big Sticks are not very happy about that one. They're going to go talk it over with the coaches. But the Spearfish Sasquatch, after an electric play from Ryan Bachman to seal the deal here, A hard grounder over towards the first base bag. Ryan makes the hard line sprint to make over and make a diving catch, and the throw just in time to take care of Jaden Singleton. Wow. So what a great way to end tonight. It is a 9-7 Game 2 victory out of 5. Squatch need one more win in the next 3 games against these Big Sticks, excuse me. And they just have to win one. And so let's see what's going on now. There's a lot of jawing going on between both teams. Uh-oh, I'm not going to get into that. So we are going to head to our postgame in just a few minutes, but what matters the most, the Squatch are 1 game away from playoff contention. It is a 9-7 ball game. Squatch take Game 2 with style. What a fun night. We thank you for listening, and we'll be back with you with a postgame in just a few minutes. Squatch take Game 2. And welcome back here to Black Hills Energy Stadium as your Spearfish Sasquatch just took Game 2 of 5 against our friends the Badlands Big Sticks. And a very exciting game all the way to the last out. After what seemed to be potential trouble, Dylan Ritchie finds a way to get out of the 9th inning, and the Squatch take Game 2 by 2 runs. And here we have the player of the game. He's been wanting to be in the booth with me for a while now, Mr. Bryson Hoyer, our leadoff hitter, and he led off the game tonight on a first pitch home run over left field. Bryson, you were 3 for 5 tonight, a double, a home run, and 3 RBIs to add to it. You were just a triple shy of the cycle. So after an 0 for 5 night last night with 3 Ks, run me through what was just in your head, how you wanted to react differently to a Game 2 tonight.
I knew it was a new day. Everybody gets a new day. Nobody remembered yesterday except for me, so I kept reminding myself of that. And every pitch is a new opportunity. So the second I stepped in the box, I knew that yesterday was done and today's a new day.
Absolutely. So obviously having your parents in town, it's a very important occasion. How do you think they reacted whenever you just absolutely hit that blast over left field?
It's pretty special for them. It's awesome time, and then I could hear my dad while I was rounding the bases for sure.
Could you? Was he up there at the general admission?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Bryson, anything else you want to add? Obviously, after the departure of Carson Green, I've mentioned it multiple times, you have been such a great replacement, being able to come in halfway through the season and then man center field the way you have. How have you been feeling defensively for the first 2 games?
I love it out there. Carson taught me a lot just about outfielding, about hitting in general. I took him in as a mentor, and I love patrolling center field because, I mean, you feel like a captain out there. It's been fun. Absolutely.
So the Squatch get out of trouble after a very controversial call to end the 9th inning and get the Big Sticks out of the game after they had bases loaded with 2 outs. So, Bryson, either way, the Sasquatch, although controversial, they do take Game 2 tonight. We are only 1 game away from playoff contention, playing against the Badlands Big Sticks starting Sunday afternoon. So tell me how important tonight was and what you're looking to really work off of going into Games 3, 4, and 5.
To grab the first 2 is big. I mean, it's a huge momentum shifter, especially with Dylan Ritchie coming in, both games, shoving it. That's awesome. I mean, the whole stadium's been electric the last 2 days, and that does nothing but just excite us and will make us want to perform better. So it's great to get the first 2, but there's still work to be done.
So Dylan Ritchie, after pitching the last 2 nights and both, I guess, finishing out the 3rd out in the 8th inning, and then pitching a complete 9th after pitching the 9th inning last night, he is officially done in a Sasquatch uniform in terms of being on the mound. But we cannot thank him enough for everything. We had him in the booth last night for player of the game. But tonight, Bryson gave the Squatch an early boost as they tied the ballgame on the first pitch of the game. And he continued to pour it on from there, adding 2 more runs to his total. So Bryson, excuse me, you're not Brian. I'm thinking of Brian Wren. Bryson, we appreciate everything you've done for us tonight. It's been a great time being able to watch you, and we hope that you're able to continue that tomorrow. I'm sure you will. Anything else you want to add to the live stream tonight for anybody watching, or what you should expect for the next few games?
I want to thank you for having me up here first and foremost, and next 3 games are going to be exciting. They're going to be fun to watch. We're going to go get something.
Absolutely. I hope we do. 3 more games to do it, 3 more games to win just 1. And after taking the first 2, we feel good about our chances against the very talented Big Sticks. It is a matchup for the ages. Both teams fighting atop the division. It is going to be fun. We hope to see you at the stadium at 6:35 first pitch tomorrow for Game 3, as we'll be having Colby Schiffer start on the mound for the Sasquatch. At least we think so as of right now. We hope that's the case. He is looking to close things down and clinch a playoff spot for the Sasquatch here in the second half. But until then, I am Win Andrews alongside player of the game Bryson Hoyer. We will see you tomorrow afternoon here at Black Hills Energy Stadium for Game 3. Squatch looking to take a playoff spot after we won tonight 9-7. A fun one at that. We will see you tomorrow. Go Sasquatch.